All right, guys, we're here with another Flash tournament. So for any of you guys who weren't here last week, this is a new format here on the channel where we do essentially like a 4-person tournament. So you have 2 best of 3s initially and then a best of 5 finals. So it's kind of fun. It's quick, get things done. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So welcome, guys. Welcome. See some new faces in here. I'm trying to start a little bit earlier so we can actually get some folks over from the UK and everything. So we're going to do our best. So the first match is actually going to be a showdown between last week's champion, which was King of the Dead. And he's going to be taking on the ever-chosen himself. So we have the Gobbo King here. So Gobbo King has named himself Human Trash. So that's who Gobbo King is going to be playing under today. But going to be taking it to the Tomb King. So definitely a fun matchup. 2 pretty high-tier factions, I would say. Yeah, I know we're trying to get some love for the UK crowd. I usually start around like 2 or 3, and then for you guys, it's like, you know, it's like midnight, 1 in the morning. It's a little bit tough for sure. But yeah, it's going to be fun. Trying to do this every week, so I'm going to stay consistent. We're going to have a good time. And also, as far as the structure goes, the winners of these tournaments, so let's say, for example, in today's stream, we get, you know, $100 in donations. The winner of the tournament gets 25% of that. So last week, I think the winner came away with like $50, give or take. Yeah, it was pretty good. So, oh, guys, check out the shirt, by the way. Look at this. I don't know if any of you guys saw this from the Ever-Chosen. I wasn't supposed to, like, allowed to wear it on the Ever-Chosen stream because it had to be like a Warhammer shirt, but check this out. Shameful display. Wasn't that good? You guys like that? Even trash. Yeah, so today's tournament is going to be the Gobbo King. It's going to be King of the Dead, Lore Master of Sotek, and then we have Aerocrastic back. So, yeah, we got the German crowd in here. We got everyone. We got all of Europe representing, and the UK, which are different. Oh yes. Yeah, we're trying our best. But yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this format. So Team Gobbo King, yeah, I know, get the hype going. Let me let the guys know, start whenever ready. Can't even type today. I haven't had a coffee yet, so I'm a little bit rusty. I must admit. A shameful display. I know, isn't that shirt? It's like one of my favorite shirts. Sotek's going to be playing in the next game. So Sotek's facing off against, I'm just like totally brain dead right now. Aerocrastic. Yeah, Aerocrastic played last week as well. Is it? Yeah. Yeah, it's spelled wrong on the shirt. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I think King of the Dead is from that area, from like Norway or Scandinavia. All of Europe and the US. Yes, good. But yeah, big thanks to you guys for joining today. It's gonna be fun. So first map, Dark Elves versus Tomb Kings. It's gonna be on the Mosquito Swamps. Let me go ahead and get the nifty scoreboards up. I think I did it right. So I just have to move this one. Good. Okay. So fancy. Yeah, I didn't have time. I was actually out and about this over the weekend, so I didn't have time to like get actual scoreboards made and everything. So we're going in raw again today, boys. We're going in. No, the spectator mode isn't in the game yet, but it will be. And that's going to be one of the best things ever for the multiplayer community. So, for any of you guys who didn't see the Ever Chosen Invitational, there was a spectator mode being added. So that means that as a host for a multiplayer lobby, I could actually create the game. People on Steam are like requesting to watch my broadcast. Just watch it on YouTube. But essentially, they're going to have a spectator mode. So I could create a game as a host, and then I could have like full control over the lobby as a spectator, which is really nice because how it exists now is the players like create the lobby. I then have to leave. They have to join. Then I have to rejoin as a spectator, and like they still have control. So if I was having a tournament with people I didn't know and they just wanted to troll me, for example, it would be really easy to do that. Gobbo King, the first Ever Chosen, the first of his name. Yeah, man, we already got 200 people in here. The party is on. Gonna be good. Yeah, King of the Dead actually won this last week. He pulled some very, very good wins over solid players, and I was surprised. But the Gobbo King is, or as he's titled himself today, Human Trash, is he's a menace. I mean, Gobbo King is really good. He's like an incredibly good player for sure. I definitely think he's better than me. I mean, he is really, really good. So as far as the armies go, let's go ahead and take a look at the Tomb Kings. In the front line here, it's going to be mostly spears. So skeleton spearmen. I assume we're going to see King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion, which are the regiments of renown of the skeleton spears. Very, anti-large. They have poison, just a solid unit. Pretty much the last thing to die in every battle. 2 groups of Tomb Guards with halberds, actually 3, which are going to be decent against the Dark Elves like Chariots and things like that. Granted, Chariots, like, if you're not like the master at bracing spears and halberds, Chariots can still just run through you. He does have the Necrosphinx here in the back. He's got a Tomb Prince for anti-large as well, so he has a couple really good answers for shutting down Chariots. Tomb Prince has anti-large, and the Necrosphinx also has anti-large. Arc in the Black, of course, the most competitive choice, hands down. Spirit Leech Faded Unit and all of his good items. Over on the far side, we got a couple groups of Nehekar Horsemen, and up in the hills, we also have Skeleton Horsemen. Going to be Skeleton Horsemen and Nehekar Horsemen can shut down Chariots pretty effectively. For the Gobbo King, front line of Spearmen, so it's going to be a bit of a wet noodle contest here in the front line. They're just going to be kind of poking each other, having a good time. In the secondary line, Cold One Chariots for the Gobbo King. He does have Malekith on the Lizard Limo. 2 groups of Witch Elves, actually, which I'm a little bit concerned on how Gobbo King's going to take out the Necrosphinx. He does have Spears and Knights of the Ebon Claw, so he actually has Cold One Dread Knights. Both sides. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they actually do against a big construct. So the Carrion are going to be swooping in, just kind of scouting a little bit, looking for opportunities, seeing if there's any hidden units amongst the Dark Elf ranks. But are they landing right here? No, it looked like they were landing. But the Lizard Limos, the Cold One Chariots, actually do have some missile pressure, so they're able to shoot these guys. And yeah, that's pretty much it here. So the Dread Spears are going to be marching forward. The Cold One Knights, the Knights of the Ebon Claw, are swooping around the formations here, but there is an ambush in the hills. It also looks like Gobbo King did have a Vanguard back here of Doomfire Warlocks. I totally forgot they could Vanguard, but Malekith's actually going to be going in on his Chariot. A little bit risky. Arc in the Black caught up amongst his halberd, so the Lizard Limo of Malekith does swoop in there. Maybe he's trying to bait him in so he can get like the... this could be potentially be really rough for the Gobbo King. So the Chariot's coming in here. The Spears were braced, which is going to help. The Carrion are coming in to kind of intercept those guys, but there's going to be massive backline pressure from these Knights of the Ebon Claw, and they might even just try and swamp on the Skeleton Spears. So Malekith is in a bit of a dangerous situation. He's taken a bit of a whooping from Arc in the Black here, as well as the Necrosphinx, and you can see the Witch Elf. So it might be a baiting tactic. He might be trying to get like Arc in the Black and the Necrosphinx into the Witch Elves. And right here you can see the Libra Mortis is going down, and also a Soul Stealer from the Gobbo King. So the Soul Stealer is going to be draining the health here. And wow, how did that Tomb Prince take so much damage? That is bananas. But anyways, Doomfire Warlocks... Oh, geez, my phone's going off here. Doomfire Warlocks sweeping into the side, and it looks like there's going to be a Faded Unit going down on those guys, which is going to be pretty good. Let me just close this phone call here. My apologies. And yeah, anyways... Oh, bad phone. Alright. We're good. Anyways, yeah, the Soul Stealer definitely did quite a bit of damage. Was quite impressed by that. The Witch Elves here trying to get a Rampage, and they do actually do a Rampage on the Tomb Guards with Halberds. So, that's actually not bad. Tomb Guards with Halberds, very, very low armored, and and they're going to get cut up pretty good by the high DPS of the Witch Elves. But right now, the bounce of power is relatively even. Malekith is still in good shape despite that very dicey initial engagement, and the Nehekar Horsemen have sweeped up and around, and it looks like they're going to be collapsing in on these Witch Elves. The Necrosphinx, as well as the Halberds, are just kind of tanking them, but yeah, it's looking pretty good for the Gobbo King. On the far side, the Knights of the Ebon Claw here. So these Dread Knights, the Regiment of Renown, do get a solid engagement on these, this is one of the biggest huge mismatch here. And you can see the Nehekar Horsemen do get punished pretty badly here, but there is a bit of a sandwich coming in. So the Nehekar Horsemen, Skeleton Horsemen, and Samadu Shopti have now surrounded these Knights of the Ebon Claw, but Gobbo King does have some Dread Spears nearby, so the Dread Spears are going to rush in against the Nehekar Horsemen and start kind of prison shanking those guys. So a bit of a back and forth here, but I would think this particular engagement definitely favors the Gobbo King. On the far side of the battlefield, you can see that the Dread Spears are basically just fighting against the King Nikesh's Scorpion Legion, who will probably win that in a long war of attrition, despite that Doom Bolt right there. Over here, just Dread Spears fighting Carrion, so pretty much just a limp noodle contest over here on the far side. The middle is really kind of the epicenter of the battle, and it looks to be a really even battle. A slight bounce of power advantage for the Gobbo King, I would say, but still, I mean, it's certainly anyone's game. The Necrosphinx is Rampage, though, so very good Witch Elf control here from the Gobbo King. He's able to pin down the Necrosphinx, as well as the Tomb Prince, and the Tomb Prince isn't going to hold up terribly well against all these units, especially with Cold One Dread Knights coming in with massive armor-piercing values. You can see they're rocking, like, what is it, like 48 or something like that? Yeah, 48 weapons. That's pretty heavy duty. Anyways, the Knights of the Ebon Claw do get slapped with another Fate of Yuna. Ark in the Black over here, I think he's lurking somewhere. I'm not sure where he went. Did he die? No, Ark in the Black must still be alive. But the Necrosphinx is out of control, so the Rampage of the Witch Elf's doing very well. But thankfully for King of the Dead, the Necrosphinx did Rampage on the appropriate target, so you can see he's going to start cleaving Malekith a little bit. Ark in the Black does, of course, have good enough mass to kind of pin down Malekith, so he's going to kind of work on him as well. But those Witch Elves just rampaging, turning them onto the wrong targets, and now you can see the forces of the Tomb Kings are largely crumbling. Tomb Guards with Halberds here are holding and doing a good job against the Dread Knights, but Gobbo King seems to be getting the upper hand in regards to the leadership exchange. He keeps rampaging the Sphinx, he surrounds it with Dread Knights, Doomfire Warlocks to poison it, and Dread Spears. He has plenty of anti-large tools here. Definitely very nice. And yeah, it looks like Gobbo King's going to be taking this first game. I mean, he just has so many spears and different things like that. I mean, I don't think that just the couple elite units as well as the halberds are going to have enough stopping power to get through them. Gaze of Malice going down for Malekith here on the Tomb Guards with halberds in the back. Definitely a very good play. Does a ton of damage against light targets, but you can see Ark in the Black is also very beat up, and it looks like Malekith is going to be using a Doom Bolt. So Doom Bolt hits pretty hard. About 900 HP coming in, so let's see what the HP pool is. Negative 100 leadership right now, and he just gets slapped right in the dome, just absolutely karate chopped, and down goes Ark in the Black. So the Witch Elves and Malekith pulling out a pretty quick game one. That was definitely cool. I mean, I don't typically bring Witch Elves in that matchup just because I haven't really gotten a chance to experiment with them, but he made them look really good. I mean, they absolutely cut through the halberds, which are a pretty expensive unit, right? 94 and 84 kills is really good against elite troops. They rampaged the Necrosphinx into the inappropriate targets. It was really solid stuff. I like that build quite a bit, and I thought that King of the Dead might have like ample, resources to handle some of those units, like some of these Nehekar Horsemen and Skeleton Horsemen to pin down the High Mass Chariots. But I mean, Gobbo King still had relative freedom with the Chariots, just a testament to his micro for sure. That was solid stuff. That was really, really good. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard here. We'll do interviews after each game here. So scoreboard left, and we're going to do... there we go. That's it. Game one for our boy Gobbo. And now they're going to be switching it over to the second map here, which is going to be Vampires versus Chaos. So definitely a matchup that favors the Gobbo King heavily. Chaos is really disadvantaged here in this map. So yeah, let me take a look at chat. Sorry about the phone, guys. Yes. The tournament rules are the King's Cup rules, so perhaps someone could link to them. I'm not sure. I can link them in chat a little bit later. There's like a Google spreadsheet that has them all. So no biting, no biting, and no scratching. Yeah, Lady Turin summed up the rules pretty well. Yeah. Yeah, Gobbo's a beast for sure. King of the Dead's really solid as well. I mean, those Witch Elves did really good. It was really cool seeing how effective they could be. So far, the build from Gobbo is great. This is like the competitive direction. You just sit with a Mortis engine and then like attack their big monsters with the Duke and the double terror guys. Dread Spears are solid, yeah. They're not bad for like a chaff unit. Turn my phone off here. Getting all these random calls. Are you guys prank calling me out there? I feel like there's some prank calls going on. The tournaments, I'm going to have them every week, and we want to try and get different people every week, but today I asked a lot of people, actually, and I usually ask people in the Discord community, so we'll get you guys invited to the Discord if you're not in there, but let's see here. Okay. Okay. Yeah, so, and a lot of people actually couldn't make it. It was a little bit short notice because I just told them like an hour before, so... Yeah, we can get you guys in the future. There's going to be some prerequisites. Be like a relatively decent, like a competitive ladder player. Because again, we want to like show people kind of the higher echelon of things, or at least mid range. Like even if you're like in the rank like 500 to 1,000 range, like that's as well. Yeah, no worries. Worries, brothers. Yeah, this is a really hard matchup for the Warriors of Chaos. If King of the Dead is able to pull out a win here, I'm going to be surprised. Gobbo King is going for blood. Like He's like, of course, Gobbo King is like can win with like Mimi builds and like Helman Gorse and things like that. But is my refrigerator running? Oh, this is a joke, isn't it? Professor Pone, is that a joke? I don't remember the second part of the refrigerator running joke. Could you tell it to me? But yeah, Chaos has a couple ways of doing this. I personally think that you just have to monster mash. You just get a Kolek and a Shaggoth and then just go like fisticuffs. And like try and win it out that way. It's really hard though. It's really, really hard. Especially with someone like Gabo who's going to have really good control over his Terrorgeist like the entire game. Yeah, looking forward to seeing how he does actually. Well, when you made the joke about the refrigerator, I was kind of like, because my computer's pretty loud with the fan, so I was like, I wonder if you can hear my fan. But then I was like, isn't that like some old world joke that like, everyone's grandpa used to tell, like, hey, is your refrigerator running? Like, I can't remember the second part. You better go catch it. Yeah, that's what it was. Oh, man. Hey, Micah Oliveira. Welcome to the stream, man. Glad to have you here. Today is the first of... the second of these Flash tournaments, and for now that we have quite a few people here, we'll go ahead and go over the rules again. So it's 2 best of 3, so this is the first of the best of 3s here. 2 best of 3s with the best of 5 finals, so definitely got a lot of games in store for you guys. And as far as the prize structure goes for this tournament, it looks like someone's asking it maybe by asking a question in chat here. Okay, he's just saying, Human Trash is the Gabo King, he's just saying he's ready. The winner of the tournament is going to get 25% of on-stream donations. So last time we had some pretty good donations, and then the winner. So if Gabo King were to win today, he would get 25% of the stream donations. So yeah, that's kind of how it works. Yes. Anyways, let's take a look at the armies. So for the Gabo King over here, he does have the double Terrorgeist and Red Duke build. So the Red Duke's on a Zombie Dragon, incredibly powerful. He has the Potion of Strength as well, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. So he's going to be trying to Alpha Strike and just bring down Kolek or any big monsters. Yeah, that's really scary because Elves plus double Terrorgeist, like diving in on a single target, is so much damage. For the main line against Chaos, you don't really need much. I mean, he has some Graveguard with Great Opens 1 group just to give him some AP. He's got a Corpse Cart here as a bit of a distraction card effect / buff for all these skeletons. And the Mortis Engine, so basically you just march forward, you blob up on the Chaos Forces, you sit the Mortis Engine behind your skeletons, or, amongst your skeletons, and then you just take out the enemy lords with the Terrorgeist. So, for King of the Dead, a pretty solid army. It looks like he's got... Chaos Marauders are a little bit risky, but he does have Chaos Warriors with Halberds, Chosen with Halberds, the weird spawn, Kolek. Wow, Chaos spawn. That's a little bit strange. Something you don't see terribly often, but... He also has some Aspiring Champions here in the back line. As far as a caster goes... Oh, man, please tell me he brought a caster. I could have sworn I just saw something being cast there, but if he forgot his caster... Oh, that is unfortunate. So he actually brought a caster up in the sky. He has a Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Fire. So Gabo King is just going to hunt that guy down. So you can see the Chaos Sorcerer is just going to be scurrying. Felbat's chasing him. The Terrorgeist is coming. And this is going to be Gotham's Reckoning right here. So King of the Dead needs to advance right now. He needs to hit Gabo's army like fast and hard because that caster is pretty much fresh fish up in the sky. I mean, with good micro... Yeah, with Elves slowing it down, though, and Felbat's like swarming it, I mean, he might be able to get away from the Terrorgeist. I think its speed is like 85, give or take, so... Maybe, but yeah, I think it's very risky to bring this. I mean, but again, it's good against Mortis Engines because the Fireball can sit and bomb the Mortis Engine. The first Fireball actually slaps into the face of the Terrorgeist. They're not bad there, and you can see Kolek, he's like, oh, screw this, I gotta get out of here, I gotta go fight, generate some value. And man, this is gonna be a really tough one for King of the Dead. But he's done a really good job so far. The Terrorgeist has been chasing down the Chaos Sorcerer, just kind of hunting him, and the Chaos Sorcerer, he's obviously microing that very aggressively and clicking to stay away. It is a little bit slower, so yeah, the boys are moving. And I'm eager to see how Kolek does. He's probably going to use Lord of the Storm here, but he doesn't want to get too far away. I'm also interested to see how the Chaos Spawn do. So if the Chaos Spawn are able to like melt, like help protect Kolek against the Terrorgeist, because he's basically going to get 3v1. And with Elsif, I mean, he does have Chosen with Halberd supporting him, so it's going to be pretty micro-intensive. The Chaos Sorcerer is just trying his best to survive here. He's just pushing forward, but he's literally being like look at this. This is like vampires, like just like bats and just all these creatures just swarming this Manscore, which is pretty cool. Here comes Kolek, so Kolek jumps in there, he gets a nice little smash on the Graveguard with Great Opens, definitely a pretty good target there. Spears are rushing forward, obviously he knows that's coming, so he's going to pull back. Here in the front line, the Mirror Guard are going to push forward, as well as the Weird Spawn. So Weird Spawn coming in, looks like a Flaming Sword of Ruin is going to go down in the last second here, before that Sorcerer probably falls or gets chased off, and... Where's that Sorcerer? Maybe he landed it, but anyways, looks like there's a bit of a monster mash here. The Chaos Sorcerer does land, so very good play by King of the Dead. That's pretty much the only way to pull them down and be able to protect it, is to land amongst enemy troops. It looks like the Mortis Engine taking a little bit of damage here. Red Duke sitting up in the sky. Maybe he's thinking about using a breath attack, but you can see the Chaos Spawn rushing into Skeleton Spears. With the support of the Chosen with Halberds, they could be okay. They're going to push in. Curse of Years going down from the Gabo King, lowering the combat stats of pretty much everything nearby, but despite all that, King of the Dead has managed to keep his Chaos Sorcerer alive, so what he's probably going to do now is pull up, and he's going to try and get a Fireball in the Mortis Engine, then he's going to re-land. So the Terrorgeist jumping into the Chaos Spawn here. But guys, there's also Chosen with Halberd, so King of the Dead is going to be moving up these Chaos Marauders around the flank, probably collapsing on these Skeleton Spearmen, and Kolek's actually putting a bit of work in on the Mortis Engine, but it does give the Invocation of Nehek, and it's still draining all of these Chaos Forces here. The Weird Spawn do have 38 kills though, so I don't know, this is looking like it might not be bad for Chaos. Goblin King hasn't done like lethal damage against Kolek. Kolek's in really good shape, but his 2 Terror Guys plus his Mortis Engine are in perfect health. And he's detached them from the main fight. Now he's just going to start gooning these Chaos Marauders and the troops on the periphery and collapsing this flank and then working his way towards the middle. So Chaos definitely not doing bad here in the middle. You can see Kolek coming in, going after the Corpse Cart, but Goblin King does have the Terror Guys nearby, and another Fireball going down. The Fireball does hit the Mortis Engine. A very good cast there. This Chaos Sorcerer might be able to actually beat these Fellbats, but he's still getting really good value out of the Chaos Sorcerer, despite the fact that there's Fellbats and Terror Guys in the air. And the Mortis Engine actually took a lot of damage from that. That was pretty impressive here. Kolek fighting the Red Duke. So we have a bit of a monster match here. You can see it's the Kaiju battle. It's the Jaeger versus the Kaiju. Kolek, without like other variables, Kolek will win the duel. But again, Kolek doesn't have the support of the Terror Guys. But Red Duke taking a lot of damage. Elseef also going down on Kolek. So that's going to lower his physical resist, his melee defense. Curse of Years lowering his melee attack. So you don't see Curse of Years terribly often, but Goblin King's definitely done a very good job using that. The Chaos Sorcerer with the Lore of Fires is still trying to run. I'm surprised it's still alive, actually. He's had some pretty good micro in that respect. Looks like he's going to turn and probably use a Fireball here in a moment on the Mortis Engine, but the balance of power slowly coming into the favor of the Vampire Counts. I think it's just kind of a matter of time here. And you can see the Fireball going down, and it does hit the Mortis Engine. Wow, massive damage. So now I kind of understand why he brought that up in the air. I mean, it does make sense, but the double Terror Guys is so common in the tournament scene in regards to taking on the Warriors of Chaos here. But the main fight's still underway. The Mortis Engine is kind of sitting and just parked here. Kolek definitely is going to want to turn and start womping on this thing if he can. Halberds are in okay shape. The Chaos Warriors here, as well as the Chosen. We do have the 42 models left. I think there's a couple Chaos Spawn fighting as well. I wonder how the Weird Spawn are doing if they're still alive. So Weird Spawn up to 97 kills. And a very good breath attack there from the Goblin King. So a timed breath attack, and it looks like one of the Terror Guys diving on Kolek here. He's going to turn and fight, and he does have some support, but yeah, the 2v1 is just going to be too much. The 3v1, oh, looks like this guy's thinking about he might be doing something. But the Mortis Engine relatively close to death. The Chosen with Halberds in pretty good shape. Chaos Infantry, as expected, performing pretty well against like the Vampire Chaff, but really it just comes down to the leadership fight here. I do think that the Warriors of Chaos need to bring like at least 2 Shaggoths, bring like Kolek and a Dragon Ogre Shaggoth, or you can go super wide and get like Marauders with Throwing Axes. There's a multitude of ways to play this one, but I think that just having Kolek by himself, I mean, yes, he had some supporting elements, and I did like the Fireball play. I mean, he was able to get a ton of damage on the Mortis Engine, and he still has a lot. I mean, he has Chaos Warriors and Halberds, but I don't think they're going to be able to take on all these Terror Guys. That's just too much power on the battlefield, and honestly, he's probably going to get slapped with army losses. Vamps don't have any infantry left, though, really. I mean, all they have left is the monstrous units. They have the Red Duke and the double Terrorgeist. But yeah, I think that's going to be all she wrote, guys. Goblin King's going to be moving on to the finals of today's Flash tournament. Not a surprise. He's definitely a heavy favorite here today, George. And yeah, right now he's basically just cleanup duty. But the Chaos Spawn actually, this one got 60 kills. The Weird Spawn over here is still going. A fat breath attack. Ooh, the Goblin King just melting those guys. Just brutal stuff. So the Weird Spawn here, it looks like they have four models left. They're gonna keep fighting. But that kind of sucks, right? Because he lost his leadership, which has led him to army losses. But he still has so many Chosen with Halberds and Chaos Warriors and things like that. So it's just, like, he still had a lot of stopping power, but just, you know, he could not hang with the leadership of the Vampire Counts. I mean, the Red Duke micro was really good. The breath attacks, the shrieks from the Terror Guys were really on point, just slowly melted Kolek. And also the fact that his Lord was just, or his Flying Caster was pressured, like, right out of the gates was really, really hard for him. So the Sun Eater pony has fled. They have fled this day. And here comes the Red Duke charging in to finish off the last of the Chaos Forces. So that's it, guys. Goblin King going on. Annis with Pony Run. And we got a couple donations. So King Ajazal says, repeating, of course, 333. Thank you for the donation. I'm sure the winner of the tournament will appreciate it. Red Spotted Drake says, great format. I hope King of the Dead pulls off some meta plays. Yeah, unfortunately, King of the Dead is eliminated from today's tournament. But again, he will be back for future tournaments. We're going to be trying to get people back. But Goblin King, of course, the first ever Chosen is no small feat. Taking him on is always going to be a pretty stressful challenge for sure. So, taught him the Skarsnik tactical retreat. So, GG. It's BO3. All right. Gabo to finals. And I will update the scoreboard. I guess we don't really need to at this point because we're going to be jumping over to the next game. But it is what it is. All right. Gabo King wins 2-0. And that is going to be it. Yeah. That's a really hard matchup for Chaos. The Fireball play was good. I mean, despite the fact that he was pressured, it was really solid. So next we're going to go to multiplayer battles, and we're going to join up the next game as soon as it loads here. And spectate, type in the password, which only I know. probably gonna be wrong. Watch. Kettle the grudges. Gobbo King, that was great, man. That was the Red Duke play was really good. Yeah. So guys, we have Lore Master of Sotek who's going to be taking on Aerocrastic. And yeah, let me go ahead and check their blind picks. We got David the White Lizard. What's up, man? How's it going? Hey, well played, King of the Dead. Gobbo King is always a tough match, so there's no shame in that. He is a beast. And let me check. I got the races here for Sotek, and I got them from Aero. Good luck. It's gonna be fun. So I'll let him know. Go ahead and pick. God, just trolling me. Oh man. Let me make sure Sotek's not AFK. Cool. And let me update the scoreboard. I'll go ahead and also put up an intermission graphic just in case. So the intermission you guys can... I forgot how ridiculous it was. Oh man. Okay, so there we go. I should have done this for the last one, but it's okay. You got Chuck Norris there. You see it like on the winner gets 25. I forgot to put the percentage sign, so I just like added it afterwards. That is a really hard sequence of words. Added it. Like say that you added it. Like quickly. Try saying that. It's like it's a fat tongue twister. It's crazy. All right. I think we're good here. Yes. Oh yeah, scoreboard. That's what I was doing. So we got Lore Master of Sotek. He arises, bringing the might of the lizard people. Well, actually, I don't know if he's going to play them yet. Cool. We did it. And now it's time to we'll talk about the armies once the game starts. For now, I'm just going to kind of hang out with you guys. So Chuck Norris is like one of my favorite. When edited it. It's really hard. Really hard. The scoreboard in Comic Sans. Oh my god, that would be horrible. That would be horrible. So yeah, Red Spotted Drake and King, thank you for the donations. Really appreciate it. And as you guys can see, the winner of the tournament gets 25% of all on-stream donations. So yeah, Fire Scorpion, I need to do something like that. You know, so Fire Scorpion, does he host tournaments or did he just make the graphic? Because I don't think I've seen Party Elite host a tournament. Oh yeah, tournament rules, sure. Let me see if I can get those in the Discord. Second here. Yeah, so we have like army limits as well as like army rules. So it basically just kind of like prevents you from like spamming monsters and I mean you can have a fair amount of monsters still. So here's one of them, and the other one is going to be the rules here. Do those links work? Do they? Yeah. Okay. Cool. That should work just fine. Magic D coming in hard with the $20 or 20 euro. Is that a euro? Yeah, I think it's 20 euros donation. Thank you so much, man. Magic D coming in, buffering that sweet prize pool for our finalists. So the winner of this match is going to be playing Gobbo King in the final. So Vampire Counts versus Empire is a really fun matchup. You get to see like Free Company Militia and Silver Bullets and all kinds of stuff going on like that. So thank you so much for the donation. Gobbo King's just like looking at those donations, just frothing at the mouth, just waiting for it. Yeah, he actually, Gobbo just had a stream before this, so he's like all like fresh and ready to party. Yeah. We'll buy Gobbo King's new headphones. If he wins, maybe he'll buy a fresh new pair of Apple iPhone earbuds or gas station headphones with the amount of money it'll be. Last week's winner took home like 40 or 50 bucks. Like, cause it's 25% after YouTube's cut, because YouTube takes like a pretty big, not a huge cut, but the same as Twitch, give or take. So I think it was like 40 or 50 bucks. I can't remember. Yeah, the donation animation isn't showing. Okay, let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, it should work now. So maybe I'll go play it just for you. Hold on. I know you guys want this. I gotta like mention the tournament here. Okay, so the game is loading up here. Let me go ahead and get the screen blocker down. Get that down, and we'll get the yeah. I'll play the donation for you guys later, for those of you that donated and it didn't show up. You guys just hear Ainsley? Oh, good. D Bison actually just covered you guys, so I'm so happy I caught this Flash tournament. D Bison, thank you so much for the $5 donation, and now you guys get to hear Ainsley Harriet. Yeah.
Yeah, boy.
Paid company militia, yeah, probably true. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Appreciate it. Mosquito Swamp's definitely a fun map. I like this one quite a bit. I think it's cool. It has like some really nice engaging terrain on the side. You can get some like really cool like battles and cinematics in the hills here, and then also there's a pretty nice little open field, but there still is some like terrain and line of sight blockers, so it does force like some decent micro and all that. Yeah, that's it. What's up, Uncle Ray? Joining the party. Vampire counts again. We're seeing a lot of vampires today. I think this is like the second game we've seen them, which is cool. So for the armies of the vampire counts and the lore master of Sotek, he does have a necromancer, and he's just going to be using this necromancer strictly as a mana battery. So he does have the forbidden rod, no spells, so he's probably just going to hide this guy and basically sacrifice him to get magic for Kemmler, which is very thematic. Kemmler, of course, standard vampire spells, Invocation, Von Hells, as well as Invocation. No, Raise Dead, sorry. And he does have the Tomb Blade as well as Krell. So Krell's going to be coming in, hopefully doing some work for him. In the front line, he does have Graveguard, Sternsman, and a couple great weapons, or one great weapon as well. So that's pretty safe, because typically Empire is going to bring state troops. They might bring some great swords, so having the one great weapon is decent for keeping your opponent honest. In the back, he does have Skeleton Spearmen, 2 groups of zombies in the front to kind of absorb things, a couple of groups of Skeleton Spears on the flanks, Barracks Reavers, and a Terrorgeist. So pretty mixed forces, and there are some Blood Knights as well. And you can see Sotek actually did this in the Ever Chosen. He was able to hide a Necromancer in like the corner and just use him as a mana battery. It was pretty good stuff. So you can see this guy hanging out here. Very, very cool. For the forces of the Empire, so you can see here he does have the mighty Karl Franz with Golem Raz and the Reikland Runefang. So that guy's going to be laying a whooping on anything he hits. And he's actually going to be on a Pegasus. So he still hits pretty hard and he's faster. So yeah, interesting. I'm eager to see how he does in this bad boy instead of his Griffin. In the back, he does have the Royal Altar of Griffites. He's got Reiksguard and Reiksguard, so some heavy cav, which will be very good at cycle charging. But Blood Knights definitely can take out the Reiksguard. But again, the Blood Knights will have a lot of trouble against Royal Altar of Griffites with any support. For his main army, it's going to be a combination of Spearmen and Swordsmen. It looks like probably Spearmen without the shield, so he's just going very cheap and wide. He does have a Free Company Militia here, and Great Swords here with a Warrior Priest as well. So bringing a very cool thematic army. The Warrior Priest is going to be doing a lot of buffs here, which will be cool. And a Jade Wizard. So yeah, very neat Empire army. Looking forward to seeing it in action. And it looks like we've got a couple donations. Roland Kahn, thank you for the sponsor. Really appreciate it. And yeah, so YouTube has like a sponsorship system. So it's very similar to like Twitch. You can basically subscribe to someone. So thank you so much, Roland Kahn, for that. And King Ajazal, can you tell Janet we need a foot reveal? I'll whisper it to him and see what he says. I'll see if he'll go for it. But I want to make sure I don't have my morning Heinrich Turin and all. The biggest nerd, thank you, man. Really appreciate it. All right, battle is underway. So the vampire counts are going to be sallying forth, and I don't have my screen blocker on. Do I, guys? I don't think I do. Anyways, Heinrich Kemmler and the boys are going to be marching forward. The Empire is going to be coming to meet them. There's not too many great targets because, he did go relatively narrow. Lore Master of Sotek doesn't have, a big Mortis engine or targets like that for the Free Company. Granted, Free Company aren't bad for just, shooting down chaff. So the Reiksguard, very good play here from Aerocrastic. Always a good time. Just use them on the zombies. Get rid of them. It's free gold. Zombies are not going to retaliate, so they take a huge charge there. They're going to be able to fall back before any retaliation happens. So they were able to take out... How much health did they do on the zombies? Where's the... Oh, they got knocked all the way back here, the flag carrier. So he's going to be falling back. The Fellbats are going to be warding those guys off. The Terror guys could provide some breath attacks as well. And the first of the Empire State troops are going to be marching forward. So the Spearmen and Swordsmen definitely heavily outclassed by the Sternsmen and the Graveguard, but they should be okay for holding, assuming the other Imperial forces can do well. So up here in the air, Karl Franz looks to be taking the fight, but this is going to be tough because the Terror guy is very good. Anti-large armor piercing. Karl Franz, of course, can fight back, especially with Lore of Life, but the Fellbats are going to be messing with his AI a little bit, so definitely things are going to get pretty hog wild. Royal Altar of Griffites are kind of sitting in the middle of the battlefield waiting for an opportunity. The Warrior Priest of Sigmar charging in, just absolutely hammer crushing that first line, and then the Great Swords charging with the buffs as well. Great Swords with the support of a Warrior Priest will just melt these guys. It's going to be great. The Reiksguard on the far side fighting the Barracks Reavers. Looks like they have a bit of a backline engagement. Barracks Reavers are losing that fight to the Reiksguard, but the Reiksguard are pulling back. The Spears are going to take their place, and I assume there's going to be some rear charges here. Sotek continuing to hide his Necromancer in the back, and you can see here that Heinrich Kemmler has pushed in. The Reiksguard have jumped into the frontline engagement, and a very good play here from Sotek potentially. He summoned some skeletons behind the Reiksguard. He's then going to probably pull them in and pin down the Reiksguard, which is going to keep them from escaping. And then they'll basically just die to the Graveguard and Heinrich. But you can see the Royal Altdorf Gryphite's not going to have any of that charging into the Skeleton Warriors. But then Sotek coming in with another flank. He does have the Blood Knights coming down from the hill, and he gets the massive charge. So Sotek with a beautiful engagement there. He's able to get those Skeleton Warriors summoned, just all kinds of good stuff going on. And that was definitely a thing of beauty from Lore Master of Sotek there. Blood Knights in great shape. Heinrich Kemmler pushing forward. I can see Krell being summoned right now. These Reichsguard are just taking a beating. I would summon Krell right here and just have him start working on these Royal Altdorf Gryphites. Some Overwatch fire coming in from the Free Company Militia. Up in the sky, though, this is a really, really bad sign for Sotek. He did lose the Terrorgeist. That is a huge loss to have taken. Karl Franz was able to fall back amongst his Free Company Militia here, and yeah, that was some really, really good play from Aerocrastic. But again, a really good ambush from Sotek. He definitely came out a little bit ahead there. The Royal Altdorf Gryphites do get a regrowth, but Karl Franz is now coming in. The Emperor, he has Garl Miraz, and he's not quite as powerful as he is on his Griffin, but certainly can still put a dent in some of these Blood Knights here. So Sotek does actually break through the front line, so the Graveguard with Great Weapons do crumble their formation. Skeletons being summoned in the back, and now the Graveguard have gotten into the Free Company Militia. And it looks like Krell is actually over here. So Krell is having a duel with the Warrior Priest, which is very cool. However, Krell's probably going to lose this simply because of all the greatswords that are nearby, so it's going to be a little bit tough for him. But Krell looking very, very cool and stylish as he does go out in style here against the Warrior Priest. And I think the Empire is starting to pull a slight advantage. However, Karl Franz is taking a bit of work from those Blood Knights. Another zombie summon going down. Heinrich Kemmler, of course, is throwing some of those mean karate kicks, his jiu-jitsu and aikido moves against these Royal Altdorf Gryphites here. And the infantry of the Vampire Counts are doing okay, a little bit sandwiched, but the Reichsguard coming in are just going to crush. So 36 Reichsguard coming in, just an erect charge right here on these Graveguard. Here it comes, just right into the formation, just brutal stuff. Those guys getting absolutely crushed there. So that's really going to crumble the leadership. And for the first time in the battle, the balance of power is going slightly in the favor of Aerocrastic, but so far this has been a great game by both players, and they both had amazing plays. Heinrich Kemmler is going to be summoning more troops in the back line, so the Graveguard do get onto the Free Company Militia and are putting a pretty heavy dent. It looks like some zombies summoned here. If Sotek can get Karl Franz, if these Blood Knights and the Varix Reavers can somehow pin down Karl Franz and take him out, the Royal Altdorf Gryphites are really starting to struggle as well. They're being dragged down by zombies and just hordes of infantry and low-tier troops, which Gryphites are not really designed to fight. So Sotek could be getting back in the game here. It looks like there might be some sort of an invocation. An invocation of the heck would be so timely right now. Blood Knights only have 10 models. They're pretty much out of the picture. The Graveguard are taking overlapping fire from the Free Company, and Free Company are actually not bad in melee. They're actually able to beat the brakes off those zombies over there. It also is unfortunate. Krell would have been really useful over here in the Cav fight, but Krell kind of just fell to the Warrior Priest of Sigmar, and those greatswords have just been like lawnmowering people with the hammer and the Grand Shield of Faith and some of those other buffs. And in the back, you can see Sotek continuing to use his Mana Battery Necromancer. I really like that play quite a bit. If I've learned anything from that, that is certainly something I need to start doing more often. But yeah, the Graveguard and the Sternsmen and all those guys are holding. The state troops are kind of just swarming, though. The Life Wizard's in good shape, and this is kind of Sotek's last bastion here. He doesn't have too much substance. It's mostly zombies and zombies and zombies. And you do have Lore Master. I was about to say Lore Master Kemmler, but Heinrich Kemmler is going to be coming in with the Chaos Tombblade, but then the Reichsguard are going to be charging him in as well. And I think it's only a matter of time before the Empire does take this game. But this was a really good game by both players. We had some cool thematic engagements with Krell taking on the Warrior Priest, but ultimately I think some of the Cav engagements really just heavily favored the Empire. Like the Varix Reavers got caught in the back over here, which is really tough. The firepower and the Terrorgeist going down like that, like the Terrorgeist shouldn't have gone down. It should have been like lurking over here, away from the Free Company Militia, just doing breath attacks on top, cycle charging in against Karl Franz. Like he'd taken that fight with Karl, like under or over the Free Company Militia, I think is what ultimately costed him the game. Because had the Terrorgeist been healthy, I think this would have been like a dead even. It would have been really, really even. So from here, it's basically the zombies and Heinrich Kemmler just kind of fighting to the bitter end, and that is going to be it. So Aerocrastic looks like he's going to be taking game 1 against the great Lore Master of Sotek. Yes. It is time. It is time. The Goblin. Oh, sorry. I'm just. What? So basically, the hidden Necromancer. So this is kind of a cool tactic. So the Necromancer, when you strip down all of his abilities, we'll go ahead and take a look here because the game's pretty much over. When you take off all of his abilities, he costs like 200 or 300 gold. And the Forbidden Rod is an item available to the Vampire Counts, casters, the Necromancers, and a couple of their lords, I think. Actually, I'm not sure. But it basically just gives you a ton of Winds of Magic, but it also hurts you. So having it on like your primary lord or caster kind of sucks. You're basically killing him. So you just get like an expendable Necromancer, and you use the Rod of Corruption to just basically drag those guys down. So, I forgot to do interviews after the last game. Talk to the Goblin King. It's okay. We'll get to talk to him eventually. But yeah, so basically you just use the Necromancer. You hide him in the corner. You cost like 300 gold, like the same as zombies, give or take. And you just use him to get like free Winds of Magic for your main caster, which is going to be Heinrich Kemmler. So, so yeah. So right now, let's go ahead and update the scoreboard. And yeah. Move that over a little bit. Cool. Aerocrastic up 1-0 in this series, and it is a best of 3. The winner is going to be going to a best of 5. Yeah, you're welcome. I'm glad you like that strategy there. So, Redcoat360 donates $5 and says, "Love these flash tournaments. Perfect thing to listen to while I build my army of dino riding dinos." Are you building a Seraphon army for Age of Sigmar? If so, very cool, man. I haven't. Yeah, that was a good match. Oh, and you guys were just asking for Skaven. Aerocrats to come in. This is Sotek's best race is definitely the Lizard people. So if there's going to be a matchup in which he's ready to party, it's going to be this one. Aerocrastic, though, definitely a very good Skaven player from the whispers I've heard. So this is going to be a fun one. So let me go ahead and get the screen blocker up just so you guys can see it and everything. All right. Got Chuck Norris holding shop down. I like that. I think the mana battery is a really good idea because, like, Heinrich is very like mana intensive. All the vampires are because you have a lot of good cheap spells like Raise Dead and Invocation. So I think having the mana battery is quite useful. Yeah, Sotek did go down in that game. Yeah, but I mean, it's 1-0. It's a best of 3. So everyone's like, Aerocrastic is now my champion. Guys, you guys are jumping ship pretty quick over there. Yeah, it would be nice if the summon units did count. Or do they? Yeah, maybe they don't. Not sure.
Give your meat a good old rub. That's it.
But yeah, guys.
Nice and
Now's the
hot.
time if you have any questions. We're not going to talk about the armies in the preload. I mean, it is going to be the Dino versus Skaven matchup, which is, I think it's a pretty good one. Skaven have plenty of tools against the big dinos, but the big dinos are definitely good at running over the Skaven. So, wow, Cody Fletcher with the $99.99 here at Bob's Big Boys donation. Thank you so much. He says, "Thanks for the endless entertainment and hoping to see some serious meme tank action." Cody, just for you. First thing when I wake up tomorrow, dude, I'm going to go ahead and play a quad meme tank build. I'll bring meme tanks galore. Maybe I'll have a whole stream just for meme tanks for you for that generous donation. So thank you so much. Cody just flexing big. Yeah, now we got some ante in this tournament, boys. Yeah. Wow, Cody, man. I thank you so much. That means a lot. That's huge. Cody Fletcher coming in with the $99 donation. His rock hard erect one is beautiful. Yeah. And to recap the tournament, for anyone who's joining late, Gobbo King was able to take his Series 2-0 against last week's winner, King of the Dead. So Gobbo King is waiting in the finals for the winner of this game. So it's either going to be Aerocrastic or Loremaster of Sotek. Yeah. Man, yeah, Cody, thank you so much, man. I really appreciate that. That's badass. It's badass, my dude. As far as this matchup goes, I really don't know who has an advantage. Maybe Skaven have a slight advantage? I don't know, though. I mean, the dinos have a lot of tools against Skaven. Saurus do very well against like all the infantry. I mean, personally, when I play Skaven in this matchup, I think it's really good to just bring a couple groups of Storm Vermin. Storm Vermin are really good against Saurus warriors with the swords and shields. A lot of times, Skaven are going to use Warp Lightning Cannons to take on the dinosaurs, but a lot of dino players have adapted, and they bring these Stegodons with the ballistas, which can then actually snipe the Skaven artillery better than the Skaven can take them out. The Cheese Bandit. So if one of the mods here in chat, the lovely Lady Turin, can link Discord, yeah. She's way ahead of me before I even thought of it. But yeah, join Discord and you just got to message me in there and we can get you in those. There's going to be a lot of people. Like, we're going to be cycling people every week and trying to get like new faces in. And we will try and invite the winners back from the previous week. So this week we invited back King of the Dead. And if whoever wins this one, we're going to try and get them next week as well. So yeah. Professor Pone, how are you going to win, Pone? You're not even in the tournament. Aerocrastic is good at Skaven. Yeah, this is going to be a good one, guys. I'm excited for this. Yeah, God of Gobos. We got to get you in here too, God of Gobos. I know you're quite active in the multiplayer scene. Oh, man. Tretch? You think we're going to see Tretch? What do you guys want to see? Alexander, you're out of control. Watch it. Yeah, we got a rock hard 700 viewers in here. So definitely starting earlier, getting a lot of the UK, European people in here is good. And that evil hag in chat is my lovely wife moderating, the Lady Turin. That's her YouTube channel. So if you guys want to see what she's up to on her YouTube channel, it's called that evil hag. So she actually is doing a series with Loremaster of Sotek right now, which is because the channel, her channel, Lady Turin's channel, is very heavily focused on horror. So she's doing a series on all the most horrific creatures in the old world of Warhammer Fantasy. So it's a really cool series. They just finished recording the second one. I think it's going to be out soon. So the first one's up on the channel now, though. Which faction? The most fun I've ever had in a Total War campaign was playing Norska. Like, when I played Norska, it's so much fun. Like, picking a Chaos God and going from there. And, yeah. It was so fun. Okay, so I got to get rid of the screen blocker real quick. Intermission graphic is gone, and it's go time. We might see Tretch. You guys think so? A battle using Grimgar? Oh, that's just asking to lose. Yeah, but I'll try and squeeze one in. Hey, biggest nerd, thank you for the donation, my dude.
Good old rub.
Appreciate it.
That's it. Nice.
Hey, he might bring Skarsnik. It is a best of 5 finals, so maybe if he goes up a couple games, we'll see a meme build. Who knows? All right. So, a bit of a snowy map here. Definitely a fun one. A lot of good Vanguard options. I think it kind of slightly favors the faction over here. Granted, I guess it really depends on the faction you're playing, but yeah, we're gonna find out here in just a moment. See what's going on. yeah. Anna's stuck in the living room with the dogs, with like Wookie and Lola. Oh, just the gremlins. Yeah, who would win in a matchup between Grimgor and Grimgor? I think both players would find a way to lose. Yeah, I think that's the correct answer. So, in this second best of 3 showdown, we have the second game between Loremaster of Sotek, who did lose the first game, against Aerocrastic. So Aerocrastic is going to be playing the Skaven, and wow, he's got some interesting... are those Warpfire throwers? Oh, you guys are in for a treat. So he does have Tretch Craventail. Tretch is incredibly hard to snipe. He has anti-large, 70 melee defense, charged defense. He's just the ultimate weasel. Very, very tough to finish off here. Aerocrastic does also have a couple of groups of the Poisonwing Globadiers. Really good anti-large tool against like Stegodons, Bastillodons, any sort of dinosaurs. On top of that, there's a Hell Pit Abomination, anti-large, armor piercing, just definitely a very powerful unit. And yes, it might struggle a little bit against like a unit like Croc R, but it's usually going to be supported by other Skaven troops like Globadiers and things. A Doom Wheel to run amongst the Saurs. He does have some Rat Ogres for the high mass. So Rat Ogres have very good mass. Very efficient at pinning down high mass units, or at least obstructing them from going after your squishy points. Warpfire Throwers, Clan Rats, Skaven Slaves, and a couple of groups of Stormvermin with these swords and shields. So a very badass army. I'm looking forward to seeing how the Warpfire Throwers do. Maybe he's going to prove my list video about them being terrible wrong, but awesome army from Aerocrastic here. And for the Loremaster of Sotek, entire front line of the Skink cohorts with Javelins, definitely be very good for picking apart Clan Rats initially. A couple groups of Saurs with Temple Guard as well. So Temple Guard definitely going to be useful against the big dinos, and maybe Doom Wheels can still just kind of run amongst them. On the flanks, he does have some Skink Skirmishers over here in the forest, maybe looking for some Skaven Skirmishers, doing a little bit of rat hunting duty. He does have a Skink Priest with Lore of Heavens on foot, as well as a Saurus Old Blood on foot, so going super wide. And then on top of that, he does have a Bastillodon with the Solar Engine, and 2 Stegodons with Ballistas. This is going to be absolutely bananas. So the Ballistas, very good at sniping out like Doom Wheels and things like that, but the Skaven player doesn't have any like really good targets for them, so I don't know how effective they're going to be. Over here, he does have some Skink Skirmishers. The Laser Dino is going to be pretty useful against, it can shoot at most of the Skaven stuff, but yeah, I don't know. I think the army composition slightly favors the Skaven. I feel like those Globadiers are going to be really effective against the Stegodons, and Stegodons might not have that many good targets, but nonetheless, Stegodons are still really tough to kill. The Hell Pit Abomination is going to be tough for Sotek to take down. He does have some focus fire from Skink Skirmishers and things like that, but yeah, I'm excited to see this one for sure. Yeah, Sotek does have a pretty good positioning advantage, but what the Skaven can do is they can march like over here, and you have line of sight blocking here. You can't see, so he can march up this hill, use the trees here as line of sight blockers, and then engage, and it would be fine for him. So it's really not a bad situation for either player. Yeah. Anyways, the troops are going to be coming in here. You can see the first volleys from the Ballistas, unfortunately, are wasted on the Skaven Slaves, but that's just kind of how it is initially. But they immediately switch. Sotek grabbing those guys. Looks like he's shooting at the Stormvermin. Does take out a couple of those filthy rats on the initial bolts. But I would imagine he's going to start shooting at the Doom Wheel or the Hell Pit Abomination with those bad boys. The rest of the Dino army is going to be positioning, so he's not going to be waiting for the rats. He's going to be taking the war to them. And the Javelin's definitely going to do a lot of work, but the Doom Wheel's going to suck for these guys in the front. The first blast coming in from the Laser Dino hitting the Doom Wheel. The Ballista is probably switching on as well. And here comes the first roll. The Doom Wheel is going through these Saurus Warriors, doing some really good damage. Yeah, they don't have too many answers for this Doom Wheel here in the front line. Although the Ballistas, what are they shooting at? So Ballista is shooting back here at the Globadiers. I think Sotek definitely needs to get those bad boys and just take out this Doom Wheel, just snipe it, finish it off. No more games. But the frontline engagement's underway. Some of the Temple Guard and Saurus Warriors have engaged with a lot of the Rats and Stormvermin, so it's almost like watching the Warhammer 2 cinematic.
Give your meat
So things are getting a little bit crunk here. The Temple Guard are going to be rushing forward, and if Aerocrastic doesn't micro his Doom Wheel away, these Temple Guard could Monster Mash it. Pretty good focus fire here from the Bastillodon with the Solar Engine. Actually doing a lot of damage with that Doom Wheel. Definitely beautiful stuff here. And don't worry, guys, I'll get to the donations after the game. I see there's some very generous ones here. So the Stegodon marching forward. Looks like he might be... What is going on back here? These guys were having like a little breeding pit or something. But anyways, the front line is going pretty well. The Saurus Old Blood is kind of leading the charge amongst the Saurus. But again, those were mostly slaves. And now we have a very grindy, just ancestral, just hatred, just fighting here in the pits. The Skinks are able to collapse, and that collapse could buckle the leadership of the Storm Vermin if he can get around the back, but it looks like he's pulling them back for some reason. But anyways, this is the big kind of epicenter of the fight. Down here, the Stegodon is going to be taking some Globadier shots. The Globadiers definitely hitting very hard, and Rat Ogres. This Stegodon needs to retreat. Zotek needs to pull this bad boy into the Shadow Realm. He also needs something to deal with the Hell Pit Abomination. And the Warpfire Throwers coming in here and roasting mostly their own troops, but that's okay. That's very Skaven. As far as the kill, they got 4 kills, probably against Clan Rats, but this is actually a decent little line of sight right here because, again, they have a decent like shot here. The Stegodon's going to be charging into the main fight. It does get into some of the Globadiers, do some decent damage. There certainly could be some terror routing going on. Tretch does pop the Verminous Valor, which is going to be helpful. And the Warpfire Throwers, I'm really eager to see their kills at the end of the game and see how they do. A Wind Blast going down from Zotek, a beautiful cast, just running over those troops. That Wind Blast destroyed those Storm Vermin, terrified them essentially, or helped them be terrified. And then also on top of that, the Globadiers took a lot of damage. The Stegodon, though, is offline for the most part. So the Rat Ogres are chasing it. Shouldn't be too much of a problem getting rid of that. And Hell Pit Abomination just doing mad work in the back line. I mean, Zotek needs something to bring down the Hell Pit Abomination. But the Lizardmen Infantry, how are they doing? So these ones are rampaging and chasing off the Globadiers, which is very good. This Stegodon is pretty much all but done for. It has 600 HP, definitely not in good shape here. And but some Saurus Warriors coming in pretty good health here. The Saurus Old Blood holding in the front line, but it looks like some Summoned Plague Monks. And the balance of power is still even. This is like a dead even game right now. The Saurus just holding in a desperate fight. Saurus Old Blood, I think, is amongst this fight right here. Let's go ahead and see where he is. But yeah, it looks like a terror route going down to the Skinks. The Saurus are holding, but they certainly could follow in suit here. So we have the Duel of Duels, the Clash of Fates. The Saurus Old Blood is actually dueling Tretch Craventail, which is not good. Tretch, his anti-large isn't going to help him much here. The Saurus Old Blood, obviously, a much more powerful combatant for the most part. So Tretch is getting whooped on a little bit. The Temple Guard are also helping. The Warpfire Throwers roasting everything in sight here. Yeah, 23 kills, not bad. And now they're shooting into these guys. It does hurt their leadership. Okay. That's doing some work right now. I mean, this is like the dream position. He was able to find a little nook and cranny where he's going to be in pretty good shape here, just roasting these guys. Beautiful stuff. Over here, you can see that the Saurus Old Blood does get knocked over by Tretch. So this is what Tretch is good at. He's good at running and squealing and just being annoying. So he is able to get away. And yeah, the Saurus Old Blood right here is going to be charging in. He's charging back up the hill. And it looks like there's a pretty big Skaven advantage. I don't know if the dinos can come back. I mean, the Doom Wheel went relatively unchecked. It would have been cool to see like some sort of some feral T-Rex to like deal with that thing, but the Doom Wheels just run rampant. The Stegodons, unfortunately, were there to counter the Skaven artillery pieces, but the Skaven didn't bring any. The Hell Pit Abomination was able to lay an absolute whipping on those guys, and here you can see the Warpfire Throwers are just roasting these Temple Guard. I mean, it's just like, yeah, it's just a grinding game at this point. So that's pretty much, I mean, I know the bounce power is still pretty even, but I really don't see much for the Lizards left. I mean, and with a full health Hell Pit Abomination just regenerating, I mean, that's a decent shot right there. It does do fire damage, which does extra against the Hell Pit Abomination, but I still don't think it's going to be enough. The Saurus Old Blood in the back is just going to be kind of swarmed by all the rats and the infantry. A lot of the dinos are being chased off. There's some Skinks coming back and casters, Saurus, but it's a tall order here because once this Hell Pit Abomination gets in here and just wrecks this guy's just going to get beaten into another dimension by the Hell Pit Abomination. Globadiers with some Overwatch fire as well getting in there, and you can see he's at negative 17 HP. And as soon as that goes, the bounce of power starts to tip. I don't know if there's a Stegodon left alive. I think that Aerocrastic's done a very good job chasing the Stegodons off the battlefield. Right here, the Saurus Old Blood. This is very, very thematic as well. It's like a powerful, legendary warrior of the Lizardmen being like dragged down into the pit. So yeah, crazy stuff, guys. Crazy stuff. So it looks like Aerocrastic is probably going to take the series 2-0. I mean, they were both great games. Like, even though, I mean, Zotek's build was designed against Warp Lightning cannons, and then the Skaven didn't bring those. They brought a very wide, awesome build. I mean, he made those Warpfire Throwers work. I mean, 39 kills isn't the best, but still, I mean, they looked really cool, at least. The Old Blood is going to be fighting here. This Blizzard's making a valiant last stand. It looks like some Skink Skirmishers coming out of the hill. Skink Priest hiding in the forest with his cane, just looking into the sunset, pondering his future after this crushing defeat of the dinos. And that is going to be it. That's going to be all she wrote. So let me get to some of these donations. I heard whispers. Oh my goodness, you guys are out of control. So, Derek Coe with a $50 donation to raise the stakes, and man, you definitely have. So thank you so much for that. That is goddamn huge, man. D Bison, a $20 donation for stakes. Cody Fletcher with another 99 house. I feel like, Cody, I feel like that donation was said in the voice of Jigsaw from Solid. You want to play a game? How serious can we make this game? Thank you, man. Really appreciate it. King Ajazal with the $2 donation. Biggest nerd by the Emperor. These haggard donations. And Plumpic with a $10 donation. So thank you, my dude. Really appreciate it. You guys rock. And now there's like an ante. I feel like there is something pretty substantial at stake here. So for any of you guys who are joining this stream, this is a Flash tournament. We have 2 best of 3s and a best of 5 finals. It's kind of a fan engagement method. So like 25% of all donations on stream after YouTube takes its cut. So I'll have to go do the math after this. Is going to be sent to the winner. So whoever wins the finals between Aerocrastic and the Gobbo King is going to be getting 25% of all these donations. So definitely some ante here for the competitors, which I think is very fun. But yeah, you guys are out of control. Thank you so much. Yeah. Damn, you guys. This is crazy. Oh man, I don't know what to say. You guys are so generous. I know, Sarmation, we need to get you back next week, huh? Yeah, man. I don't know what to say. Thank you guys so much. Yeah, how serious can we make this game? Very serious. The plan of the old ones has not been fulfilled this day. So well played to Lore Master of Sotek and Aerocrastic. So well, maybe we'll just do like interviews with the finals. I think we'll let him know. Yeah, we'll let him know. That guy,
Give you
the evil hag, buy your husband a razor. Hey man, my facial hair isn't that bad right now. That guy, thank you for the 50 euros. God damn. All right, the prize pool is getting pretty fat now. I feel like we're not going to see any fun builds. It's going to just be like straight up like knife to the jugular builds now. Oh my goodness. Yeah, so now we're here to the final. So let me go ahead and jump over to Discord and make sure everyone's ready. All right, so where are we? Gobbo. I'm just giving them the maps. Yeah, that Doom Wheel did a ton of work. There was like really no answer for that thing, which was pretty wild. So the other maps we were doing are so we're gonna do Pillar. The gloves are off. Pillar of Bone, Altdorf, Outskirts, Tower of Hoeth, Troll Country, and Eschen. So Sotek says to chat, he's like, this is merely part of the great plan. Next time, I'll return more vicious than ever, says Lore Master of Sotek. All right. All right, Pillar Bone. And they got the maps and everything now, so we're good to go. Game name is Turin is a cool guy. Oh, all right. I'll take it. Full Iron Drakes. Nobody's bringing the Iron Drakes. Yeah, that guy, thank you. Man, I don't even know what to say. Hopefully you guys aren't trolling me. I actually had that happen to me once where someone donated $400 on stream, and I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Oh, this is the wrong game here. I think I joined the wrong one. That's awkward. I think it was the same lobby from earlier. All right, so let me get into the right. But I had someone donate $400, and they like withdrew the donation, and like yeah, I was like, oh no. Somehow it didn't like go through or something. It was weird. But yeah, I trust you guys. Trust you guys. We'll be good. Yes, the biggest nerd. Thank you. Yeah, the Fire Rises biggest nerd. The Fire Rises. Gojira, it's going great. Yeah, Sotek and Lady Turin are working on something, another one of their horror videos, Warhammer Fantasy horror video. So it's gonna be pretty badass. Can't wait to see it. I'm getting confused. I'm getting a little bit. It's really hot in my room. I hate air conditioning. So the prize pool is quite fat. I'm just letting the guys know. Yeah, big business up in here. Cody drops from the ceiling with the steel pipe. All right. Famous last words indeed, my friends. Send 5, no repeats. So yeah, the players can't play the same race twice, and it's blind pick. So they send me the 5 races they want to play, and then they have to pick them. All right, Gobbo King sent his over. Cool, and Aerocrastic as well. Yeah, you can repeat from round 1, guys. And we got Greenskins versus High Elves here in game 1. It is I, Titanic Tuna. Chat's making it rain for sure. The IRS is going to visit me and arrest me. I'm just not going to declare taxes on any of this stuff. Even though you have to. YouTube actually, you have to pay quite a bit of taxes on, like at the end of the year, I have to pay like a substantial portion. Which sucks. Because YouTube declares everything to the IRS, right? I mean, I would never do that anyways, just for the record, okay? I'm just saying, but, you know, it is like, you know, structured, so I have to pay tax on everything. Again, it's not like cash where you can cackle and hide, right? Yeah. I would never do that, though. Never. Yeah. So I don't run air conditioning in here. I don't like it. I don't know why. Like it like when I run air conditioning, I get like a really dry throat, and it's like it feels like I have like a dry scratchiness in my throat. Oh yeah, the scoreboard. That's right. It is time. Now this is a best of 5. I got it. I got it. I trust these guys. I mean, I know Gabo wouldn't do it. Aerocrostic seems like a really awesome guy too, so. But yeah, I got you guys covered. Before the Queen and the Crone DLC, this was a really hard matchup for High Elves, but ever since they got all their new toys, it's certainly more of an even matchup. I still think it favors the Greenskins a little bit, but Kick Edges all, thank you, man. The one true Get Grimgore. Yeah. Yeah, so we're going to be trying to do these every weekend. So yeah, stay tuned, guys. I messed up, all right?
Give your meat a good
I got to change the names? Oh, man, I am just the worst.
Nice and hot.
I got to change them. Okay. Well, at least you guys caught it before the game started, so. No, I didn't have to change this one.
Give your meat a good
clever girl. Rub. You guys just like seeing Ainsley Harriet. Do you guys want me to change that donation thing, or is that kind of like become a thing now?
Yeah, boy.
Hey, we just jumped into this game, all right? Keep it under control. Gobbo King's coming in for that erect, and he won. Gobbo King won quite a bit from the first ever chosen too. So his tournament winnings, he's gonna be a full-time Total War tournament player here soon. Yeah. I did get quite a few concussions when I used to play football. So I played running back in high school, American football, and yeah, I took some blows. Ugh. Yeah, I know. Arcane Unforging is so good against Greenskins. If he has Arcane Unforging, it's going to make the matchup much harder. Because essentially, what you do with Arcane Unforging is you cast it on the Greenskin Lord, and it adds a cooldown to. Oops, wrong one. Sorry. And it adds a cooldown to the Wa, which you basically can't use for the first like couple minutes. It's really brutal. So, yeah. Oh, baby, a triple. That could potentially be done. I found like my new favorite GIF. It's like this guy from this game show. Just I'll put it up next time. The dwarf counting money GIF. Yeah, a good old rub makes you hard every time. Well, I'm glad to hear that. That's great. So for the armies of Aerocrastic and the High Elves, he does have a Frostheart Phoenix, which I think is a really good kind of off-meta pick. Has really good armor piercing, so against the Ragnarok Queens, it can swoop in. Has good enough melee defense to kind of stand and go fisticuffs, especially with some healing. And it does lower melee attack. So if you guys look at the Frostheart Phoenix here, you can see that it does lower melee attack by 9. So really good against like hordes of Greenskin troops, like that quite a bit. On top of that, he does have a fair amount of missile play. He does have the Everqueen scorecards, which are just going to melt in a Ragnarok Queen. These guys will turn that spider up and down, put it in a trash can. It will be beautiful. So he does have those. On the flanks, he does have archers and archers, so the Greenskin's definitely going to be pressuring hard on the flanks, I would imagine. They have a lot of width. But the Blackworks, the Blackworks are going to be hard to deal with in the front line for sure. He does have Teclis, Nets of M-Talk, Enfeebling Foe, and Regrowth. Some Spearmen here in the back. His front line is actually going to be Phoenix Guard, so yeah, the Phoenix Guard definitely going to be a little bit... I mean, Blackworks will beat these guys down, but they'll be pretty good at holding at the very least. So if the archers in the back can do some really good work, and the Frostheart Phoenix can get in there and, melt things... I don't know, though. I think Gobbo King's army is going to be pretty hard to deal with. Those Black Orcs are just going to smash through this front line. I mean, Phoenix Guard do not trade effectively. They're a halberd unit. I mean, they are okay, but it's still going to be pretty tough. So that's pretty much it. He does have Teclis, no nobles. I definitely would have liked to see have seen a noble, but for the Gobbo King, the T-Frobbers in the back. He does have Forest Goblin Spider Riders here. Same thing on the far side. So the Gobbo King, of course, crashing in from all angles, just pure aggression coming in here. He does have Black Orcs in the front line, a couple groups of Savage Orc Biggins in the middle with an Arachnarch Queen and Dr. Doom and Darkness here. He's got more Black Orcs on the far side, nasty Skulkers against Heavy Cav. So if Fireborn decide to try and come in here, the Skulkers will definitely smoke them down. And the T-Frobbers are able to slip in, so the T-Frobbers already getting into the back line, but a Nets of M-Talk going down. Oh man, everyone's favorite unit is just going to get dragged down into the pits by these spearmen as well as the Phoenix. So, but still, they did take that net, right? I mean, that's not bad. The Arachnoid Queen here taking some fire from the Everqueen Scorecard, it looks like, or maybe just standard archers. The Fireborn are having to fall back here because there are just so many Greenskins. It's going to be hard to protect this many archers, but the T-Frobber's going down pretty early here. And the Gobble King's going to be sneaking in the Force Goblin Spider Rider. So these bad boys trying to get in there. Just he's force pathing them with all just rapidly clicking on those archers, and he does get into the archers. He's able to shut them down temporarily. But the Black Orcs are going to be the real trouble here. The wall has gone down, so the wall was not stopped. There was no Arcane and Forging or anything, so the Greenskins are just on steroids right now. And it looks like the Savage Orcs are pouring through the front line. They are being picked apart by the archers as they go. Yeah, their leadership tanking a little bit, but yeah, they're in there. They got a full chub, and they're going to be going after the Core Guard. The Fireborn are going to be sweeping in, but a really good Spirit Leech going down on those guys, or maybe a Fated, yeah, it was a Spirit Leech. But they're going to be charging into the Savage Orcs and just melting those guys. Savage Orcs are not good at taking the charges from Heavy Cav, and it looks like Aerocrastic's going to be falling back, but when he does fall back, the Gobble King waiting, but he does charge back with the Fireborn to intercept those guys. Beautiful play by both players here. The Fireborn just melting those guys, but now Black Orcs are in here, Savage Orcs are in here. It is getting very, very ugly. The front line for the High Elves, relatively speaking, is collapsing. The Phoenix Guard are holding with a regrowth, but the Black Orcs just slowly winning that engagement. Teclis lurking on the wings, and it looks like the T-Frobbers, everyone's favorite MVP here, is pretty much out of the picture, but so far, a pretty even battle. The Fireborn doing a pretty good job, the Spirit Leech doing some work, but the Fireborn are just melting all these Greenskin Cav, these goblins. But the problem is that Aerocrastic invested very heavily in these archers, but I guess the Everqueen Scorecards are still in good shape. But the T-Frobbers coming back in the fourth quarter and running through those ladies, doing almost no damage, but they're sending a message here, guys. And the Fireborn do have 32 models, pretty good health. But yeah, the High Elves are kind of securing this backline situation, but when the Black Orcs get there, you know, the Nasty Skulkers will be able to beat these Spearmen, these Black Orcs. Actually starting to lose. I think that regrowth actually gave them enough to kind of pull ahead in this engagement. They still have their martial mastery and everything, so yeah, I don't know. This is really hard to say. Over here, these Phoenix Guard are struggling. The Black Orcs, the two groups, just pounding them into another dimension. But the Arachnoid Queen for the Gobble King is now back here. In a straight duel situation, the Arachnoid Queen is going to be able to beat down this Phoenix Guard. He really needs the Everqueen Scorecards to live, so then he can start shooting at the Arachnoid Queen with those guys. So the T-Frobber is still just a perpetual menace. You can see Teclis getting in here with his Wizard Staff. He's going to be fighting some of these guys. But the Everqueen Scorecards unleashing some volleys into the Savage Orcs. But yeah, the Orcs, the Green's Hide is just kind of piling forward. Some of the archers in the back have rallied. Definitely going to be some very useful Overwatch. Aerocrastic with some really good micro. Both players just on point here. And this Phoenix is pretty good at tanking blobs because it does lower the melee attack of everyone nearby here, which is pretty great. But here comes some Overwatch Fire. So the Overwatch Fire coming in for the archers here, doing some great work against the Savage Orcs. But I feel like the tide is just going to start pouring after the High Elves. Good play here, though. Pulling back the Phoenix, trying to tear out off these Savage Orc Biggins, break their frenzy, pick them apart, and kind of drag out the Greenskins because, yeah, that'll also allow the Cav to do some work. But the Gobble King is just on point. The Spirit Leech is doing very well. But here comes a very heavy charge. There's no Nasty Skulkers in here to pin these guys down. But the Fireborn getting a huge charge on those guys. He needs to pull back ASAP, though. These guys are going to get just straight monster mashed by Savage Orc Biggins and Black Orcs. You can see their HP here is tanking from the Spirit Leech. But the Arachnoid Queen kind of getting taken out. Bounce of Power going back towards the middle. So the High Elves getting back in the game a little bit. The Frostheart Phoenix doing a really good job of just kind of terror routing troops and just pressuring. The Arachnoid Queen is actually shaken. The Fireborn might actually come over here and charge the Queen. The Everqueen's Core Cards need to live. If these guys get compromised too heavily, like if they get wrapped up in... Well, this is actually the Arachnoid Spider. It's not a Queen. Apologies, guys. I'm getting that wrong the whole game. But it looks like an Enfeebling Foe has been dropped. It is now being attacked by the Fireborn. Fireborn do have anti-large. They don't have the best AP, so there still is going to be a degree of durability with the Arachnoid Spider here, but Black Orcs piling in, yeah, these Black Orcs are just going to be really nasty once they get in here and start cleaving on the Everqueen Scorecards, who are really powerful in melee, but it looks like there's going to be a cone. It looks like a fiery convocation coming down, some sort of witchcraft coming in from the High Elves. Oh, but this could potentially be really good. So the Frostheart Phoenix, here comes a fiery convocation, roasting down the Black Orcs, not doing the most damage. The Fireborn holding valiantly, but I think the Gobble King is going to be pulling out this first game. Right here, this was a good play by Aerocrastic as well. He was trying to take out the enemy lord with Teclis, but Force Goblin Spider Riders got in there. And Teclis is not a combatant. He's not going to be happy in that situation. Frostheart Phoenix is broken. I think that's going to be game. The Everqueen Scorecards put up a great fight, but ultimately they are just getting surrounded here and cut to pieces by the Black Orcs. The Arachnoid Spider coming in as well, just marching through them, eating a couple Black Orcs on the way. And yeah, what a game. That was a really micro-intensive game by both players. That was pretty beautiful. But I think that the Gobble King is going to soundly take this game. So good stuff here, guys. Too many archers. It almost worked, though. Like, there was a point where he almost pulled back into that game, but the Phoenix Guard weren't able to hold back the Black Orcs, and like I said, once they got, like, back in there, it got pretty wild, so. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at the donations. We got the Radio Plastic, Swiggity Swooty. You know what's next. Get them Turin and keep the best Total War content on YouTube. Thank you so much, man. I will be trying to do these every week, barring, you know, my hand falling off or any sort of a catastrophe. Nabil Yassin, thanks for the €10 donation, man. Nabil. Oh yeah, my apologies for mangling that if I did, but thank you so much. The prize pool quite substantial. I see we have a lot of new people, so for anyone watching, the winner of this is going to get 25% of all stream donations. So they're actually getting a pretty big chunk of change now, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, so we're on game 2. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard. Gobble King taking game 1 in this best of 5 finals here. Scoreboard. I can just sit and have some coffee with you guys. That's going to be nice. Yeah, starting earlier was definitely better. So we're going to have Empire versus Tomb Kings. Oh, hell yeah. This is one of my favorite matchups. You can see like cannons and, oh man, and spearmen fighting like constructs. It is a blast. Cody Fletcher, man. I hope these aren't like troll donations. Man, thank you so much. Ooh, boy, that is a fat one. Cody Fletcher coming in with the third $99 donation. Third. No way. Okay, Cody, I gotta talk to you after this. Make sure that's real. Cody with the Pound Town, because I have to pay these guys out after the tournament, you know. So I want to make sure that it's like actually like legitimate. Okay.
Give you a meat.
Yeah, he might be memeing on us.
That's it.
I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll find out. Thank you so much, Cody. If that's real, please do be a kid, dude. Please do be a kid. All right. Well, thank you, man.
Nice and hot.
So Cody with the, I don't even know what to say. He just donated $99 3 times in a row. Maybe he clicked it and it lagged. Cody, can you say something in chat to let us know that these are legitimate? Because if they are, thank you so much, my dude. Say something in chat. Just something, please. All right. Well, thank you, man. I don't know what to say, man. That is fat. Because I did get trolled once or twice by fake donations for quite a bit of money. So I mean, it's okay. Loading graphics but man, Cody, if those are real, man, thank you so much. I don't know, Misha. I have to double check. I'll check after this. But Cody, man, I can't believe it. That is fat. All right, Cody, I really appreciate it, man. Thank you so much. That is, oh, dude, I can't even express how awesome that is. You're the fucking man, dude. I don't care. They can demonetize this stream now. I don't care. All right. Yeah, I gotta get some new emotes. That is fat. All right, so we're in the game here.
But he said that you.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Also.
Here, we have a surprise guest for you guys. We have Wookie. Well, leave the door open because he's gonna want to scurry back out. Cody, we brought Wookie for you, man. Thank you so much for those. Seriously. That is huge. Not only for the competitors today, who are going to be getting 25% of that. So yeah, I mean, that's literally $100 just from you for the first place. So that is beast, man. So we brought Wookie for you too. He says hello. His tongue. Yeah, I got to cast the game, Wookie. What? You want to sit behind me? All right, you can sit on the bed. He might make a scene during the game. You good back there, Wookie? He's on the bed back here. Can you guys see him? He doesn't look too comfortable up there. Yeah, man. Again, I can't thank you enough. I'm sorry if I'm repeating that, but that is huge, man. You're amazing. Yeah, that's huge. So I will continue to put out all of the dankest content. And if there's anything you want to see particularly on the channel, like a guide for something or a list video, let me know. Yeah. All right, Wookie. It's a little hot in here for the guy. We'll get him at like towards the end of the stream because I don't want him to roast like a Christmas ham. Okay, guys. So in this match, we have a showdown between the Empire, who's going to be led by the Gobble King, and he's going to be facing off against Aerocrastic and his Tomb King. So for the Gobble King, the front line is going to be mainly a combination of spearmen, state troops. I think he does have a couple greatswords, which are actually a really good niche pick here. These guys are solid. They can tear through a lot of the frontline troops of the Tomb Kings. He has a Witch Hunter, Demogryph Knights, Hammer of the Witches, so a massive kind of defensive concave. You could see he has a big kind of semicircle, and he's going to force the Tomb Kings in because there's no reason for Gobble King to advance. He has the Hammer of the Witches. He can just rain fire. I mean, a Bone Giant could return fire to the Hammer, but the Hammer is going to be very cost-effective in that trade. A Tomb Scorpion coming in for the Tomb Kings here in the front line, and for the Tomb Kings army, Nehekar Warriors here, some Skeleton Spearmen. Looks like, yeah, the Scorpion's just going in for it. There's going to be some Demogryph Knights swarming in here, and Demis are pretty much a hard counter to these type of units. Anti-large, armor piercing. The Tomb Scorpion can fight back, but he definitely does not want that engagement. Some Reiksguard coming up and around the flank, and it looks like the Tomb Kings are going to be swarming in with a bunch of carrion. They're probably going to temporarily shut down the Hammer of the Witches. And maybe this was a bait. Maybe Aerocrastic sent in the Tomb Scorpion to then pull in the Necropolis Knights and all these other troops. I'm not sure. It'll be interesting to see what happens. On the far side, the main portion of Aerocrastic's army, you can see it's going to be Kepler Guard. It looks like Nedekar Warriors, or just Nedekar Warriors, Skeleton Warriors, Setra the Imperishable, as well as Necropolis Knights with Halberd. So the main fight is underway here. It looks like there's going to be a huge battle, some Witchcraft going down, a final transmutation from the Gobbo King, just a thing of beauty. Balthazar Gelt, the Meme Lord himself, lurking in the distance. That is going to be really devastating. So Tomb King's off to a pretty rough start here. The Necropolis Knights with Halberds just taking an absolute whooping here. Demogryph Knights just countercharging them. Spearmen rushing in as well, but I really think that, like, I know I hate to call games this early, but I do think that this whole situation here is going to be really, really rough for the Tomb Kings. The rest of their army is a little bit disconjointed. Yes, they're going to have okay engagements here. The Cambrian War Sphinx going into the Greatswords, going to get quite a few kills, 3 on the initial approach. Looks like the Reiksguard are going to be charging into these low-tier Nedekar Warriors, just pantering those guys. But there are Necropolis Knights here that are going to get some freebies, and you can see here that Setra is able to cast Fusirion's Incantation of Vengeance, which is going to lower those bad boys down by 24%. And yeah, wow, that actually did quite a bit of damage to those guys. So the Hammer of the Witches is shooting in as well. Tomb King's trying to fight over here, but the Empire, for the most part, has clinched a victory on this part of the battlefield. And you can see already that Gobbo King has pulled a pretty substantial advantage. I mean, the Tomb Scorpion, the Carrion, Necropolis Knights all going down. His army definitely a little bit disconjointed. The Tomb Kings are able to collapse this formation, though. So they collapse these Great Swords, or these Swordsmen. These Reiksguard took a beating. Over here, these Great Swords are also, yeah, eventually going to probably go down to some of these units here, but yeah, I think that the Gobbo King has a pretty massive advantage. The Hammer of the Witches is still online. Oh, these Carrion need the sweep back here. This is pretty much a freebie. So Gobbo King is pulling forward his Spearmen, leaving his Hammer of the Witches undefended. And the Carrion from Aerocrastic, probably not expecting any of those guys to be alive. These bad boys are going to be swooping in here and attacking. And yeah, pretty much shutting this thing down. I mean, the Hammer of the Witches crew is actually holding pretty well, but it's offline now. But at this point, I think Gobbo King's just probably going to be on cleanup duty. You can see his Spearmen quickly running back here. The Witch Hunter also providing some decent, armor-piercing shots here. So the Necropolis Knights. And over here we do have Setra the Imperishable trying to salvage this situation, but there's spears, there's 17 Demogryph Knights. There's just too much pressure here. The Snake Surfers are going to be getting a good rear charge here against the Demogryph Knights, dragging down a couple of those guys on the approach. Definitely some very good stuff there from the sneaky snakes, but I don't know, maybe there could be some sort of a miracle comeback. I mean, because Balthazar Gelt isn't, like, he kind of blows his load a little bit early. Like, if Setra is able to kind of like master out, and if he can kill the Demogryph Knights, if the Demogryph Knights fall, there might be a chance that Setra could come back in this game, because he could basically just ride around with his sneaky snakes and maybe take out like this Witch Hunter and just move around. Reiksguard are going to have trouble bringing him down as well, but the Hammer of the Witches, a very, very good play by Gobbo here, is able to stabilize. So the Hammer of the Witches is now going to start shooting most likely at Setra. That's pretty much the only big threat the Tomb Kings have left. Over here you can see the Ushabti summon has gone down. The Ushabti are going to be attacking the Greatswords. They're not a bad target. I mean, Ushabti are essentially a counter against Greatswords, but again, they do degenerate because they're a summoned unit, so it's not going to be quite as, impactful here. So you can see here the Reiksguard are going to be getting a rear charge here on these Nedekar Warriors. 81 models initially, and it looked like they didn't take any substantial losses, but yeah, I think it's going to be too hard for the Tomb Kings to get back in the game. The Nedekar Horsemen do charge back here, try to get some freebies on the Witch Hunter, and they're able to do a little bit of damage, but really you need to be sitting, like, have a heroic hard-hitting unit on a, like a Witch Hunter, because it essentially is a heroic unit. So over here, the Nedekar Horsemen do get the Djaf's Incantation and Narrow's Incantation of Protection, but the Reiksguard in pretty good shape here. A rear charge coming in from the Reiksguard, just crushing these Nedekar Warriors, doing some pretty good work. And although the bounce of power is still like kind of close to the middle, I mean, the sneaky snakes over here are able to do some pretty good work. If they can get this Witch Hunter and then somehow shut down Hammer of the Witches, there might be a doorway for him to get back in this game. So Accusation going down right here. Accusation from the Witch Hunter, of course, pretty much like, I think it's like 2 Spirit Leeches worth of damage. The Sneaky Snakes are going to be charging in as well. They get a nice charge here on that Witch Hunter, do some okay damage. But it looks like, ooh, I think this is going to seal the deal here. So right now, a final transmutation going down. Does he escape? Oh, and he dodges it. He dodges it, so the Tomb Kings are able to dodge that final transmutation cast that was going down right there, and now they're just going for blood. That's not a bad idea for Aerocrastic. If he can just force path Setra and just try and take out Balthazar Gelt, oh, but it looks like he's sweeping back to the Hammer of the Witches. Very, very good play here. I mean, Empire does have Reiksguard and a lot of troops like that, but yeah, I don't know. There's still a lot of spears left online. That Witch Hunter also has really good AP. He needs to go down, but Hammer of the Witches is shut down. These Necropolis Knights need to now kind of get away from these spears. They can't be taking any casualties for free. If Aerocrastic wants to get back in this game, he really needs to, keep these guys moving, sticking and moving, taking out high-value targets, because the Empire is pretty much out of anti-large. They have the Meme Lord himself, Balthazar Gelt, who's helping to clean up some Skeleton Spearmen on the flanks, but he's not going to be able to punch Setra in the face. Over here, there are 9 Demogryph Knights alive, which is going to be useful, but aside from the Sneaky Snakes here and Setra, there's not really much alive for the Tomb Kings. The Tomb Kings definitely want to run over there and probably jump on that Witch Hunter, who's obstructed, but he's still doing pretty good damage. Tetra has about 3,800 HP left. There are 13 Neckar Warriors here, but yeah, the Demogryph Knights, this would actually be a good idea. If he could sweep over and get the Demis or go after the Witch Hunter, I think those would probably be the two better targets right there. So well played by both players, for sure. Goblin King's defensive concave has worked pretty well. Balthazar Gelt, of course, just cackling with his final transmutations. Definitely a very good play there, because you can dodge final transmutation if they cast it on the ground. So Goblin King cast it on the ground to try and target both of the units, but unfortunately the Tomb Kings were able to dodge it. So the Snakes getting in there, running over some of the Greatswords. Very good cycle charge play coming in here. Well, not even cycle charging, just charging. So he's picking off kind of the scattered forces of the Empire, trying to get them before the Meme Lord can kind of unify. But the Demogryph Knights are coming in here. The Spears are coming in as well. The Curse of Cetra has gone down. That's doing some AoE damage. So whenever a Tomb King's Lord like Cetra or anyone goes below a certain percentage, there's like, they have a curse effect. The Sneaky Snakes do get the Narrows Incantation and Protection. But yeah, the Reiksguard charging in, Demogryph Knights, Greatswords. This Witch Hunter really needs to die. Like, this guy has been doing massive damage. He just got off another accusation. He's done, you know, massive damage against Cetra this entire kind of second half of the battle here. And it looks like Goblin King is probably going to take this one. He might even have another final transmutation, which if he did, would probably just end the game. But that's going to be it. So the Sneaky Snakes getting dragged down by the Reiksguard. Just crazy stuff here. And yeah, what a game. What a game, guys. That was quite a cockfight here. Cetra in the back just breathing its breath. But Cetra is going to be ruled by Balthazar Gelt. The Cetra does serve in this case. Unfortunately, Balthazar Gelt is cackling on the hill. The supreme meme patriarch. Bye-bye, Tomb Kitty. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. But yeah, guys, so that's going to be it. So Goblin King is going to go up. I mean, is there a chance? I mean, I don't want to call the wolves out of the woods, as they say. But I'm pretty sure that Cetra is done for here. I mean, there are no great answers to dealing with Cetra. I mean, Cetra has 2,400 HP. He needs to kill this Witch Hunter. That is a huge mistake. Like, if this Witch Hunter was dead, he might have been able to even stabilize and come back there, because the Empire doesn't have much. That was a really close game. It ended up being really close, despite that, like, horrible beginning. No new haircut today. I just brushed my hair. So, guys, just a bit of a summary for this event. It's a Flash tournament, 2 best-of-3s initially. The winners of those 2 best-of-3s play in a best-of-5 finals, which we have now. Goblin King up 2-0 in the best-of-5. The winner of the tournament gets 25% of on-stream donations, and which are quite fat because of a couple people, especially Cody Fletcher here, just giving some balls-deep donations. So it's Goblin King's fighting for the prize. If he wins this, he's gonna be sitting pretty for sure. So let me go ahead and update the scoreboard. All right, here we go, and yeah, 2-0. Yeah, Tomb Kings are great, and for game 3 we have Skaven versus Dark Elves. Yeah, and let me get the screen blocker up. Tomb Kings are really competitive, for sure. They're really good. Yeah, Tomb Kings are solid. I mean, I think that had Aerocrastic marched his army as one, he would have been fine. Because what he did is he had like half of his army engaged against like the Imperial flank on the far side, and he kind of got outmaneuvered and overwhelmed. But had his army marched as one, I think it would have been... He probably maybe even would have been able to win that game. Because like he almost came back, despite losing like half of his army for free. So Aerocrastic definitely put up a good fight, but I think having his forces engaged separately was really punishing. So yeah, that's just my 2 cents. Tomb Kings are really, really good. They're really good. I know, we haven't seen too much Dawi today. Yeah. They're playing for keeps. Goblin King's probably getting tired. He's probably like, I just want to finish this. I streamed earlier. I'm worn out, guys. I'm worn out. But yeah, this is I'd say Dark Elves have a slight advantage here since they got the Queen of the Crown DLC. Doomfire Warlocks are just so good. They're insane. Like the Soul Blights and the Soul Stealer and the Mark of Pain. It's just like the poison, the physical resist. They can just like ride down Skaven infantry. They're insane. So Doomfire Warlock's really hard for Skaven to stop. So I think if Goblin King's micro's on point here, it's gonna be pretty brutal stuff. Let's see. I was trying to bait one out and then I baited myself. Oh yeah, they're talking about the final transmutation. Goblin King wants to get paid. Yeah. I won't say it, Bajarku, you're good. No worries. My brain's just all over the place. Yeah, snakes are pretty good. I like them in like the Wood Elf matchup, like the shielded snakes, because they can beat Wild Riders. They have shields against missile attacks. It's pretty solid. The Biggest Nerd, thank you for the fat $2 donation. Connor vs. Khabib. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Biggest Nerd is asking about he's asking about the UFC. I'm a pretty big UFC fan. I've been watching MMA since like the Pride days. One of my favorite fighters of all time is actually Mirko. Crow Cop. He's awesome. He was one of my favorites to watch back in the Pride days. Oh man, so badass. As far as the but to answer your question, I don't know. It's hard to like count out Connor because like every time like Connor's fought some really good wrestlers. I mean, I think Khabib has a slight advantage. I mean, he's undefeated. I mean, not that. I mean, it does mean something, but yeah, I think Khabib has a slight advantage. But Connor could starch him in round 1. You know. Yeah, basically it's a 4-man tournament. So there's not really much of a bracket. It's just 2 best-of-3s and a best-of-5 finals. I think that's a little bit more engaging for a stream because it's like quick. We can watch it in like 2 hours and under. It's fun. It's not like something that's going to take like 6 hours. So it's easier for me to like cast it, right? I don't have to like, yeah. Yeah, you guys, Gabo said like his microphone or his headphones are broken. So you guys like, if he wins this, it's literally paying for his new YouTube equipment. Balthazar Gelt's very good. Yeah. Cool, man. Hey, you're welcome. You're welcome, Jarku. Yeah, this is going to be... Mirko Krokop was awesome. Just the head kicks of the gods. Man, he has so many cool fights. Oh, yeah. I know all the old school MMA guys, for sure. I know all them old school MMA stuff. Like, watching the old Pride days with, like, Fedor Emelianenko and Alexander Emelianenko is pretty fun to watch, too. But apparently he's, like, has a pretty shady background. But, Vanderlei Silva, Mirko Krokop, the Nogueira brothers, like that time period was just, and Bob Sapp and like just all these guys was insane. The stream started, we've been going for about an hour and a half, so yeah.
Give your meat a good old rub.
Anyways, guys, let me get rid of the screen blocker. We're jumping into
Nice
the game
and
here.
hot and spicy meat. Yeah, boy.
Yeah. These streams are good for me too because it doesn't hurt my hand that much to like kind of just sit here and cast the games. Like I can, with my wrist tendonitis, I can probably only play like, I can compete with anyone like in this game, I think. Like there's a lot of people who are better than me, but I can compete with anyone kind of thing. But I can play like maybe 3 to 5 games in a day before my hands start to hurt really bad. But not having to like click and do like rapid micro moves like in casting these games is pretty easy for me. So I think that this is a really good kind of format. Eventually, like when there's a launch of big titles, I'll play quick battle streams myself, but for now, this is good because now I can, the rest of the day, I can have like a functional day, right? I don't have to be like suffering from hand pain for the rest of the day. So, yeah, I don't know if, a lot of people say Pride fights were fixed, but it's still fun. Yeah, whatever, Hey, no worries, Lewis Walker. You enjoy that ice cream museum, my dude. I think everyone's going to get a bit of an update. Yeah. I mean, I'm sure they'll, throughout like the next, Warhammer 3 and other titles, like I'm pretty sure they'll be updating all the old world factions periodically. All right, guys, so this is the third game here. I think I updated the scoreboard. Let me double check it real quick. Yes, I did. Gobbo King is up 2-0 in this best of 5. So if Gobbo King takes this, it is over. So for the forces of Gobbo King, he does have Dread Spears, Bleak Swords here in the front line. So pretty good. Might as well just use Chaff units. You don't really need like Harganeth Executioners against these Skaven. Blackheart Corsairs are a pretty good choice as well, but I do like these guys. They're all shielded. They're going to do their job against Clan Rats. For his heavy hitters, he does have Sisters of Slaughter, I think. I don't know where he put them. So, yeah, Vanguard deployment. Dark Riders over here. He does have more Dark Riders in the back, which are very good against Skaven. They have shields, good at chasing down Chaff. Slaanesha's Harvesters in the forest, and I think there's another Doomfire Warlock back here. So, yeah, he's got 2 Doomfires back there. So there's going to be a massive amount of pressure on the Skaven here. It is just going to be super aggressive. Front line is basically all those Chaff units. He does have Marathi, and in the forest, he's going to be hiding his sisters. So this is a good choice. Witch Elf, Sisters of Slaughter. If they don't take, like, skirmish fire from the Skaven, so if Gutter Runners aren't picking these guys off and things like that, these guys are just, these are a prime target for the Skaven. So beautiful stuff there, hiding them in the forest. And for Arrow Krasik, he's on the ropes, guys. He is down 2-0 here. He does have the Gutter Runners. So the Gutter Runners with Poison, a very good tool against the Dark Elves. Not so much against this front line. They're going to do pretty much jack nothing against the Bleak Swords and Dread Spears. But against the Witch Elves, if he's able to kind of keep them alive and stay focused, they can do a ton of work. But there's going to be so much pressure for the Gobbo King. We do have Skaven Slaves in the front line. We have a Warlord on a Bonebreaker. We have a Plague Furnace, which is definitely a pretty good choice against the infantry build of the Gobbo King. A Doomwheel, Helpet Abomination, Plague Monks, and Clan Rat Spears in the back. So yeah, a very heavy army with double Doomwheels against the Dark Elves. I actually don't know if the Dark Elves have enough to stop this. I mean, they have Doomfire Warlocks, but I really don't know if they're going to have enough to take out the double Doomwheel plus the Helpet and a Plague Furnace. That is like OG, like Skaven Death Star. This is going to be really, really tough to bring down. The Plague Priest, as far as his spells go, he does have the Pestilent Breath, Vermintide, so just all the summoning abilities, essentially. So Goblin King's going to be advancing out here from the forest. Looks like the Sisters are going to be piling down, sitting on the forest edge. Things are getting pretty hog wild here, so the Gutter Runners, you can see, are just going to be scurrying and fleeing, just cackling as they do so. And yeah, look at these guys. They are going for it. He does know the Witch Elves are there. I think he has some sort of an inkling that there's going to be pressure here, so he's positioning his skirmishers. But Doomfire Warlocks are pretty good. Dark Riders swarming in as well, and very good play by the Goblin King. You can see he has all of his forces like not engaging, and he's kind of doing a bit of a surround. So this is a kill box. If the Skaven move in here, he can then surround them, which is very, very good stuff. Doomfire Warlocks are going to be falling back, letting the Dark Riders take the brunt of the charge. And oh, he's very blobbed up here. This is going to hurt. Dark Riders have shields as well. Yeah, they do get snared there, but this is going to be really nice. So Clan Rats with Spears should fall back, deal with those guys. Some Dread Spears coming in as well. And in the front line, this is going to be super micro-intensive for Goblin King. But wow, look at these Raven's Heralds. The Repeater Crossbows melting this Plague Furnace with Marathi's Doombolt. You can see here there's some fire coming up in the sky here. But man, this Plague Furnace is getting melted. And Marathi has anti-large and AP, so she could potentially bring this thing down. Anyways, the Skaven have engaged. The Doom Wheel's underway. The back line is absolute anarchy. The Skirmishers are falling back. The Hell Pit Abomination definitely needs to kind of help these guys out. But you can see the Sisters, and the Witch Elves, and everyone coming from the forest here. Looks like there's also going to be a Doombolt. Yeah, looks like a Doombolt coming in from the Dark Elves in the back. And these Repeater Crossbows doing a pretty good job just melting 2,700 HP down to 2,300 from 2,400 from that one volley. But the Dark Elf main line is crumbling. So the back line, for the most part, is being compromised heavily. The Dark Elves are just swarming with the Dark Riders, as well as some of the Slaanesh's Harvesters and some of those other guys. So Goblin King definitely securing a huge advantage in the back line. The Witch Elves here have engaged with the Doom Wheel, which is okay. The Doom Wheel will definitely do some really good damage to them. But the Plague Furnace is coming back. Plague Furnace almost dead. I mean, those Raven's Heralds are doing a ton of work. Aerocrastic, if he can kind of free up some of his ranged resources, he should definitely get all these Slingers and bring down those Repeater Crossbows. They are incredibly squishy, and Goblin King's just getting way too much value with those. So the Doom Wheel is brought down by the Sisters of Slaughter, or it's rampaged, essentially. So it's in relatively bad shape here, negative 30 armor, 25 missile damage. Plague Furnace is trying its best to fight here. Skaven Slaves, as well as Plague Monks, have been summoned here in the main fight. That other Doom Wheel is in good shape, though, and the Hell Pit Abomination as well. So I think at this point, the Skaven just need to form a Helm's Deep. They need to just stand in a big blob and just fight to the death. Over here, the Gutter Runners, Slingers with Poison are shooting in against some of the Witch Elves, but here, the perpetual pressure from the Dark Riders, just riding in and just sandwiching these guys in the back line. Hell Pit Abomination is not necessarily in the best situation either. It's fighting Spears. Doomfire Warlocks, the Slaanesh's Harvesters, if you can like make sure it's focusing them, that's going to be pretty good, but for the most part, and don't worry guys, I saw those donations, yeah, we will see. We will see them after the battle. So the Raven's Heralds with the crossbows have now switched on. The Plague Furnace is pretty much taken out. I think Goblin King's just going to win this. His Dark Elf build here, really, really solid. The Hell Pit Abomination and the Bonebreaker and the Doom Wheel still in okay shape. There are some kind of remnants of Skaven forces on the wings, but losing the Plague Furnace, losing one of the Doom Wheels this early is a huge disaster. You can see that Marathi is going to be... Oh, and he changed his name to Goblin King for the finals. That's pretty great. But yeah, I don't know, guys. It's looking like Goblin King is going to take this this best of 5 finals here. So right here, you can see that Slaanesh's Harvesters are sweeping around. Bounce of Power is switching into the favor of the Dark Elves here, and yeah, the Hell Pit Abomination here. Somehow it's double Soul Blighted. I don't know if that's even possible, but there was 2 Soul Blights on top of it. And Marathi is a really, really good choice against Skaven. She has anti-large armor piercing, which Skaven actually bring a fair amount of Doom Wheels and Plague Furnaces and things like that. So she's a great tool. She lowers the melee attack of all nearby troops. And she's just been like systematically chasing down those targets and really putting them down. So Aerocrastic's Warlord here, pretty bad shape, just being prison shanked by all the Dark Elves. And you can also see that the Hell Pit Abomination is being taken down. Marathi diving in for the finish. And these have been a beautiful set of games today. Yeah, beautiful set of games today. So the Doom Wheel charging in as well into the back. It's the last death throes of the Skaven. And Goblin King is going to be the winner. So not only is he the ever chosen, but he is also the second Flash tournament chosen. Well, I think what we're going to do for like future weeks is we'll have like a scoreboard of past champions. And winners from the previous weeks will always be brought back. So the Goblin King will be brought back here next week, if he's available, of course. And he can try and hold his crown and keep reigning in that purse. Yeah, that was insane. So let's go ahead and jump over and talk to the competitors here. We'll have an interview with the guys. Those were some crazy games there. Yeah, the Doomfire Warlocks, it's so hard for Skaven to deal with this like backline pressure. And the Raven's Heralds, like the niche pick. Like Raven's Heralds are often thought of as like a meme unit, but they melted that Plague Furnace. It was beautiful. Gabo is getting paid. All right, but before we go, let me see here. So Dylan Nuttall says, if a pregnant woman goes swimming, does that make her a human submarine? Also, awesome stream. What did I miss? Dylan, anything you missed? This will be uploaded as a video to YouTube later, so you guys will be able to see that. But you missed 2 best of 3s, and this best of 5 finals was just the end that you probably saw here. So Gobble King just won the tournament 3-0. So Dylan, man, thank you for the erect $100 donation. God damn. And Richard, we got Richard Namiek here with the $1.99. Love the streams. Glad to hear that, man. We got Luigi for the Horned Rat. Kill the Elflings. Well, alas, the Horned Rat has fallen this day, but thank you, man. And Gobble King coming in with the Steel Warfire Warlocks. Oh yeah, hell yeah. So let me go ahead and talk to the guys. So we're gonna jump over here and talk to Gobble King. Let me see where he's at. So Gobble King, let's do an interview real quick. We'll do interviews with both of them if we can. So I'm gonna try and call him in Discord. 15-1. I'll see if he wants to. I'm sure he's pretty tired because he was streaming before this. Oh yeah, Gobble King has no headphones, so he can't hear me. Yeah, he broke his headphones. All right, well, I'll see if he wants to just say something to you guys. I can type. We're seeing Gobble King's microphone and headphones literally are like broken. So you guys literally just paid for his new equipment here. All right, I'm seeing if he's gonna make it. Okay, looks like he's out for the count. Let me go ahead and get Aerocrastic. Yeah, he can't hear anything, but he could still come on and say something. He says, "Here you go. Tell the people this. Ready for a stomping, gentlemen?" We can't interview him. He doesn't have mic or headphones. Tell them to keep it classy, he says. And yeah. Okay. Well, you've heard from the Gobble King. Let's go ahead and talk to Aerocrastic. We can talk to the gentleman who had to face the Gobble King here. So we're here. Hey, Aero, how's it going, man? Thanks for playing today. So tell us about those last couple games, man. Were you surprised by anything that he brought?
If I had to say, I think that the Dark Elf game was a bit of a surprise for me.
Yeah.
I kind of had a hunch that he was hiding some Doomfire Warlocks like off in the peripheries a little bit.
Yeah.
Although I think my build wasn't very well equipped to handle it, or at least I didn't really execute it that well.
Yeah.
Skaven don't really have a whole lot of like really punchy anti-large tools.
Right.
So I intended to like skirmish his Doomfire Warlocks out, but with that 92 speed, I really underestimated how quickly they'd close the gap.
Yeah, they're incredibly fast. Plus, they have the shields as well. So he did a pretty good job sweeping those guys in, and then using the following up with the Doomfire Warlocks afterwards, which was pretty good. But also, what did you think about the pick of the Ravens Heralds? Those guys actually really melted your Plague Furnace. Did you see that?
Yeah, they were a huge problem. Like honestly, I wasn't exactly sure what to allocate my Gutter Runners towards, because I knew that if I just let them kind of sit there and shit at me all game, it would be a pretty big problem. At least one Doom Wheel and perhaps also like half of another dead.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like there were just so many threats all at once. I think I was kind of a little bit confused as to where I needed to allocate my resources.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a wild game. I mean, I thought you had the Doom Wheels, of course, were pretty threatening. I mean, he didn't have too many anti-large tools, but with his Marathi play as well as the Ravens Heralds, he was actually able to slowly like drag all those guys down. And the Witch Elves actually did a lot of damage too. Some of those big targets. It was wild, man. But yeah, man, just wanted to thank you for playing today. We'll certainly get you back in the future. Made it to the finals today, but of course the Gobble King was pretty ferocious those games for sure.
Oh yeah, he really steamrolled me there, 3-0.
Hey, no worries, man. You put on some great games today, and thanks again for joining. And
thanks for having me.
Yeah, we'll see you next time, brother. Take care.
See you.
All right, guys, that's it. That was. If you guys wanted to like see competitive builds and learn a little bit about the metagame, go back and watch Gobble King's like plays today. Like those were very, very solid for sure. So yeah, again, winners are going to get 25% of the stream donations after YouTube's cut. So I have to see what YouTube ends up, what the cut is. I have to go do the math on all that. Get the Gobble King taken care of. And we'll try and get him back for next week if he's available. And we'll be inviting new players, new opponents for next week. We're definitely going to have to get some killers, some serious killers to take on the Gobble King. So it's gonna be good. Yeah, and big thanks to all of you guys for donating. So let's go ahead and go through the donations and everything, and make sure to thank everyone. And remember, anyone who donated, I mean, you guys really contribute quite a bit to the multiplayer community. It's really cool to see that sort of engagement from the audience. And on top of that, it hasn't gone unnoticed. When I was at the Ever Chosen at Creative Assembly's office for that tournament, we cast it from there. There was quite a bit of a buzz in regards to like multiplayer there, largely because of a lot of the stuff we've done as a community. And they definitely have like noticed it, and they're going to be putting more resources towards multiplayer in the future. So there's a lot of exciting stuff coming. Spectator mode is going to be the next thing. So I have to. Okay, Ainsley Harriet. I'm sorry, I can't even focus with him telling me to rub my spicy meat as I'm giving like some epic speech about multiplayer. But yeah, guys, make sure to go check out the Gobble King's YouTube channel if you haven't. He does quick battle streams, quick battles like myself. He's a very, very good player. So yeah. So for the donations. I know, can I get some like Luke Skywalker robo wrists? The Biggest Nerd, thank you for the donation. See you guys, gotta go. All right, brother, take care. Biggest Nerd, we got Luigi Borino, we got Dylan, we got Richard, and Cody Fletcher, guys. For any of you guys that didn't know, Cody donated like $400 today. Just balls deep, just massive prize pool. So thank you so much, Cody. Like that is goddamn huge. That is huge. And yeah, the winner of the tournament, I'm sure Gabo will appreciate that as well. So thank you, Cody. You're the man, dude. Yeah, we gotta. I can't thank you enough. We got Nabil Yassin. We got Radio Plastic. We got King Ajazal up in here. We got that guy with the 50 euros. He says, "Evil hag, buy your husband a razor." Plumpic. We got King with another one. Cody there. D Bison. We're gonna go buy a steak dinner. Derek Coe raising the stakes, coming in hard with $50. Cody again. Was that $500 from Cody? Damn, I'll have to check that. God damn. Biggest Nerd. Again, with another donation, we got Red Coat. We got Roland with the sponsorship. D Bison again. Magic D with the 20 euros. Red Spotted Drake. King Ajazal. Man, you guys are too generous today. Too much. 500. God damn. And if someone in chat, one of the admins could link. If someone in chat could link, give a link to the Discord for everyone here, that would be cool. So for anyone who wants to like get involved in the multiplayer community, that would be a good place to start. The spectator mode's going to be really good, so stay tuned for that, guys. That's going to be super, super fun. Yeah. All right, guys, so that's it for today. Well played to all the competitors. So big thanks to Aerocrastic, the Gobbo King, who is our champion of this week. We got Lore Master of Sotek and King of the Dead. We certainly had some good games today. These will be up in the next couple hours. It'll probably be up by like 10 or 11 tonight, so you guys can come back and watch any of the games you missed and everything. There were some really good games earlier. Gobbo King's early games were really fun. Sotek series was great as well. Versus Aerocrastic. Those were we got to see some really cool Skaven versus Lizardmen games. And yeah, that's it, guys. So we will be doing this next Saturday or Sunday. It's most likely going to be on a Sunday. I think that's a really good day to do it. So every Sunday we're going to be having flash tournaments. We're going to keep growing that Total War multiplayer community until the people hear us. We rise to a true esport, maybe. Who knows? Maybe we'll fill a stadium someday. Could happen. I don't know. Or just more Ever Chosens. We'll see. We will see. Don't worry, guys. You're going to get the Steam Tanks. I'm going to go record Steam Tanks right now. It's happening. I'm going to go and record Steam Tank battles just for you guys. Yes, it'll be good. All right, guys. Thanks again for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed. And we will see you guys next weekend. Probably there might be like a midweek stream for something else. Maybe like we might do a Blood Bowl or a Gladius Relics of War or something. But for the most part, we will see you guys next weekend. You want the quad Steam Tank? All right, it's happening, boys. All right, it's happening. All right, good night, guys. Thanks again, and take care. Cheers.